for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Hey, sorry about that, guys. Hey, I got you. Sorry about that, guys. I was going in and I was on mute. Didn't even know that. Wow. Going in and didn't nobody hear what the hell I was saying but me. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Everybody hit me up, say, Coach, you on mute. Woo! Boy. Hey, guys, forgive me for that. It happens sometimes. You know, I had to burn me one before I got on, and I guess when I burnt one, I kind of like forgot that the mic was on. You see what I'm saying? The mic was on mute. I saw myself, but I didn't hear myself, but didn't know I didn't hear myself, but I didn't know that you guys didn't hear me. But you get what I'm saying. So I'm going to have to do a recap. Hey, okay. And talk about what I just said. Did the whole damn show and it was on mute. That's crazy. Hey, okay. Wow. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. What I was saying was we're going to talk about not only what's going on in the sport of boxing today, but we are going to talk about some of the biases that we have amongst ourselves, not only on YouTube, but just people in general. You see what I'm saying? From other ethnicities. We don't do any race baiting on here, but we are going to address the elephant in the room. And when I finish, I may have some people who look like me, they may be upset. I may have some people who don't look like me that may be upset. But I'm going to point out all of the biases and the indifferences and the narrative driven and the bullshit, you know what, that I see that's going on in the sport of boxing today. I got to call it out. I promise you, this show is not going to be long, but it's going to be straight to the point. It's going to be concise and straight to the point. And we will be able to get some understanding once this is over with. I'm not here to make friends today. I'm not here to kumbaya. I'm not here to, you know, go along to get along. This ain't that type of party. I'm calling out everybody bullshit, including mine. So, hey, man, it is what it is. This is NWA Fridays, as I said at the top of the show. NWA Friday. Why I say that? Because we really don't. It's one. Not only is one of my favorite rap groups of all time, even though they were studio gangsters, they didn't do none of the stuff that they talked about. Maybe outside of Eazy-E, but that's neither here nor there. NWA Fridays for a reason. I got an attitude today. I got an attitude today. Not a bad attitude, but a good attitude. We gotta get some straightening attitude what's going on today, man. And we gonna get it in today. When you come to this show, it's gonna be a nice little ride. I'm going in like Lil Wayne right now. I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm going in. And I'm gonna go hard. And I'm gonna go hard. Yeah, man, I got all the texts, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The two queens who hit me up and let me know I was on mute. You know who you are. Carmen Serene, Lisa Bells. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, but here it goes, guys. We gonna get into this. I'm not finna fake no moves, no jacks. Yeah. We're not gonna pump fake. You know what I mean? This ain't about your feelings. This is about listening. Now, I got a serious question. I got a question as serious as counts, as Rakim would say. Why Oscar Valdez is allowed to cheat without punishment? This is not about Oscar Valdez, though. This show is really not about him. And I have another question. Is there a double standard in the sport of boxing? Double standard meaning not only in the sport of boxing, but is there a double standard when it comes to you? See, this show is about you today. This show is about everyone who's watching this show. This show is about everyone who will watch this show. YouTube, I need you to send the notifications out and let everybody know that the old boy, Coach Malachi Wills, New Media Today USA Boxing is here. This is the show about me. This really ain't about Oscar Valdez. We know the ruling. We know that they allowed him to, go ahead and continue his fight. We don't know what Mauricio Sulaiman is going to do. Maybe he'll step up and do something. But the fact still remains. For all of the people out there who's pushing a race narrative, and I almost got caught up in that myself. I said that, hey, you know what, if it probably was somebody black, they probably wouldn't even done nothing like that. Guess what? I had to catch myself and realize, wait a minute, this has happened to black fighters before, and they still let it go on. So we're going to pull the wool out of the closet for that narrative. We're going to pull out Los Vatos narrative as well. We're going to pull everybody narrative out. Black narrative, Mexican narrative, in your narrative, in my narrative. We're going to pull it all out today. Ain't nobody going to get by today unscathed. Not today. Not on this show. So anyways, let's get into this. But you know how we do it. Let's go ahead and give everybody a shout out. Sorry for the first 4.5 minutes that I was on mute. I was hot. Still am. But that's okay. Shout out to the Queen Lisa Bell.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Halim in the building.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to my main man Charlo.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Javon Soto.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to the Queen, Carmen Serene.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Rob Rev Shows.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Easy Designs. What's up, man?
Hey, okay.
Carmen Serene, thank you for hitting me up. Let me know that I was on mute. Lisa Bells, thank you for hitting me up. Let me know I was on mute. I was on one. I'm sorry, guys. You know, players mess up.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Halim.
Hey, okay.
Easy Designs with the lick read, baby.
Hey, okay.
Supreme Tax. Thank everybody for letting me know I was on mute.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Jeff Lucietta. What's happening?
Hey, okay.
David, what's going on?
Hey, okay.
Let's see. Charles said, I suppose we lip reading today.
Hey, okay.
Man, you dudes, man. Hey, y'all cut it out, man. Come on, man. I had just got through, you feel me? I had left the gym, took a shower, went outside, did what I do. You know what I mean? A lot of people say, man, Coach, why you be burning, before you do a show? Because I have anxiety attacks. I don't know what my trigger is. So I have to, come down a little bit. Maybe I'll be too happy, too excited, too crunk. And maybe I'll be giving myself anxiety when I'm on the show. So I got to be transparent with you guys. So I have to, I have to do that sometimes. And I have, to show y'all I'm not capping, I also have CBD oil. I have that too. So I may do a half a drop of one of those sometimes. If you have anxiety, that CBD oil is what is really good for you. So anyways, let's go ahead, man. We're not lip syncing today. Shout out to Juwan. Juwan, what's going on, brother? Shout out to Pugilism. What's happening? Shout out to Troy Smoke Alarm. I see you. Everybody, I know the mic was off. I'm late. Tripping. Shout out to Mark Nash. What's going on, fam? Mark, I appreciate the samples that you sent me. Shout out to Boxing Magic TV. Here we go. Shout out to DJ. What's going on? DJ say the whole gym dirty. DJ, you might like what I'm going to say, and you might not like what I'm going to say when it's over with. This ain't about no Wilder. This ain't about no, I'm not pushing no race narrative. I'm not pushing no ethnicity narrative. But I'm calling out everybody, including myself and including you. So here it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not here to make friends today, guys. I'm here to tell it the way I see it. A lot of bullshit going on in the sport of boxing. But we're going to get to the bottom of it. I got a whole lot of stuff I want to talk about. But guess what? We're going to wrap it up real quick. Shout out to Easy Dime. Shout out to Mala Gente. Como tu andas, mi hermano? Mark Nizaz. What's going on? Please subscribe to Mark Nizaz's channel. Jeff Lucietta, what's going on? Jess Blaze, what's happening?
Hey, okay.
Rider of the Storm, what's going on, baby?
Hey, okay.
HLD, what's happening?
Hey, okay.
Boxing Magic TV, Mad Chad Boxing and Sports, let's go.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to G Martinez.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Bruce Goals, what's going on, brother?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to my man Charlo. I already said your name earlier, but I like saying it again.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Eliza Feliciano. Shout out to John Doe, what's going on?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Johnny Blaze, what's up, baby?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Dennis. Dennis, I ain't seen you since 1979. Where you been at?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to TGE Boxing. I see you, boy.
Hey, okay.
Eric Arroyo, what's up?
Hey, okay.
It is what it is. Shout out to JC in the building. Shout out to Joe Strummer in the building. Shout out to who else? I don't want to forget nobody. I think that's it. If I forgot your name, please forgive me. Oh, shout out to Guido. What's going on?
Hey, okay.
And let's get into this. Because I'm finna point everybody out. The black man, the Latinos, the whites, everybody getting called out today. Wizard Sleeve, what's going on?
Hey, okay.
I'm getting called out as well. We ain't pushing no race over here. We ain't doing no race baiting or race hustling. But what we're not going to do, we're not going to, this guy said, J.H. Lethal, I won't forgive you, coach. Then you just won't forgive me then. Just don't forgive me then. I'm not looking for your forgiveness, sir. I'm calling it the way I see it. I don't want your forgiveness. I don't know if that's a joke or not, but I don't want your forgiveness. Trust me, I'm not looking for it. Anyways, we know what's going on in the world of boxing with Oscar Valdez. I'm gonna go ahead and get straight into this. I'm not gonna BS around. Because I hear a lot of narratives out there. They're saying that, hey, man, you know, the whole gym in Canelo's camp is cheating and juicing and whatever the case may be. And it's mighty, mighty strange. And if it would have happened to a black man, we know that the black man would have got suspended, kicked out immediately. And then if you're a Mexican, you know, you're saying that, oh, man, it's not a big deal. Yada, 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 yada. You vatos are tripping. Yada, 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 yada. I've been seeing a whole lot of stuff going on the internet. You know what I mean? A whole lot of stuff going on. And I see it, I notice it, I recognize it. Because you know I come from that. I'm a vet at that. But I got to call it the way I see it from everybody, including myself. So guess what? I ain't looking for your forgiveness, brother. Not looking for your forgiveness. Trust me. Trust me. Anyway, let's get into this. So now, as we see right here, I'm not just gonna get right into it. We ain't finna be pumping no moves, faking no jacks, none of that. We finna get right into it. I'm gonna run right through this today. I promise you. This ain't gonna be a long show today. So anyway, let's keep going. We're looking at Mike Carpenter. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with Mike Carpenter, but that's neither here nor there. But we know that my main man Oscar Valdez not only he gets to fight, but he keeps his belt, and whatever money that he makes, he gets to keep. He gets to earn his purse, and he's not going to get suspended or anything. We know this, right? So if you're a fan of the sport of boxing, and we know that RIP, let's say the RIP man to the sister, female boxer who got killed in the ring not too long, a couple days ago. Hit the Ali bell for her. That has nothing to do with this, but I'm finna show y'all how I'm gonna put this together. Now, as you can see, Mike Carpenter, he said that Oscar Valdez won't be stripped or face any punishment after the organization, this organization who supposed to make their ruling or whatever the case may be, determined that amphetamine isn't a performance-enhancing drug. This despite the WBC using Vita for its clean boxing program. VADA bans the PED, a central nervous stimulant. So let me get this straight. Now, this sounds like some barbarian type shit going on. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. This sounds like some barbarian type stuff going on. Sorry about that. I see what you were saying. I see what you're saying. Okay, cool. It is what it is. This sounds like some barbarian stuff going on. So let me get this straight. A fighter can use a performance enhancement drug that's banned, or let's say a banned substance, and not get suspended, not get stripped, and will be able to continue to fight. And if he beats this guy, he will be recognized as the winner. So this is what's going on right now, right? Okay, I don't give a damn what race, nationality, or ethnicity you are. If it's a banned substance, you shouldn't be allowed to fight. Period. We're going to talk about everybody today. Yeah, we got to do that. I'm not playing today. Not today. I'm not playing today. I ain't here to make no goddamn friends neither. To be honest with you, I'm not. This ain't about that. I got a whole bunch of goddamn friends. I'm trying to get rid of some of the ones that, well, I ain't going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. But, you know, I got a whole bunch of goddamn friends. But anyways, I'm not trying to win any new people over. What's what I'm trying to say, guys. Everybody in the chat, my family. Anyway, so now, this guy get a chance to fight. So, I agree with this. He said, if Mauricio Sulaiman can determine the substances banned by VADA, shouldn't in fact be banned by VADA. So, my point is this here. What he's trying to say is this here. He's trying to say that, wait a minute. Because I'm hearing a lot of scientists out there saying that, hey, man, well, this ain't no PED, and this ain't a big deal, Bato. This not a big deal. Y'all tripping. Y'all just mad and jealous of Canelo. Y'all mad and jealous of Canelo, and you want to see Canelo fall because you haters. You don't like Canelo because you're haters. So this is why you're attacking Oscar Valdez, but it's not a big deal. But the same people talking about it's not a big deal, guess what? That doesn't support your narrative. That's why you're saying that. It doesn't support your narrative. That's why you're saying that. You have predisposed dispositions inside of you, which is where you're coming from with that. But guess what? We're going to talk about everybody today. I told you, we're going to talk about the blacks. I'm black. We're going to talk about the whites. We're going to talk about the Latinos. No race baiting, no race hustling, just straight to the point. I'm going to call out everybody bullshit, including mine. So if I lose you, hey, I ride with the AK.
Hey, okay.
If I lose you.
To this day.
It is what it is. So let's keep going. So anyways, it's simple. This is not a performance enhancement drug. This is what Sulaiman claimed. It is like if you take 3 Red Bulls, the anti-doping world, I guess he said in the anti-doping world, there are hundreds of substances. So, according to what Mauricio Sulaiman is saying, he's saying it's not a performance enhancing drug, but it's a banned substance. So, let me get this straight. So, you are allowed to use a banned substance, take a banned substance. Errol Spence can take a banned substance. Deontay Wilder can take a banned substance and still fight. Manny Pacquiao can take a banned substance and still fight. Terrence Crawford can take a banned substance and still fight. Hell, Canelo Alvarez or whoever can take a banned substance and still fight. What's the point of having VADA, an anti-doping agency? VADA tells you, hey, Mauricio Sulaiman, check this out, baby boy. Listen, this dude got popped dirty for using a performance enhancement, a banned substance. You declare, well, wait, this really ain't no a performance enhancement drug. So what you're saying is, even though that it's a banned substance, we're going to declare at the last minute that it's not a performance enhancing drug, so we're going to allow him to go ahead and fight. Now, Oscar Valdez ain't no big fish in the pond of boxing. He's not a big fish. We know that. But that's not the goddamn point. The point is, if it's a banned substance, why should he or any fighter be able to fight? I got receipts on a lot of fighters who are allowed to fight. And guess what? You might not like what you want to see. Even I didn't like what I wanted to see. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So let's go. So anyway, let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. So let's see what's going on. Oscar Valdez, we know what's going on with that. This ain't really about Oscar Valdez, though. This is not about Oscar Valdez. So let's move over here. So this person here, most valid opinion, MVO, he said, I believe in, this guy said he believes in Mauricio Sulaiman and the WBC. This is what this guy says. He says, I believe in Mauricio Sulaiman and the WBC. The right thing will be done. When David Benavidez tested positive for the stimulant cocaine, he was stripped of his belt. David Benavidez is Latino. He's an American, right? I think he was born right here in America. You see what I'm saying? He's a Hispanic American, David Benavidez. If he was born here in America, I'm not sure. I could be wrong about that. They stripped him of his belt. Remember that? So the narrative that, man, if it would have happened to, if it would have happened to a black dude, see, they let New Mexicans do what they want to do. They let the Latinos do what they want to do. They don't even get stripped. But goddamn it, that ain't true, because David Benavidez tested positive for cocaine and he was stripped of the belt. So we're not going to push that narrative today. We're not going to push that narrative. Oh, well, you know what I mean? You see what it is, baby boy. See what it is. See what had happened was, you see what it is. See what it is, baby boy. See what had happened was, if it was Aaron Spencer, if it was somebody else, and I said that myself. So I am guilty of saying the same thing that's not true. So I got to call myself out on that. Right? I have to call myself out on that. David Benavidez, last time I checked, he wasn't black. David Benavidez, last time I checked, he was Mexican. Last time I checked, I could be wrong. I mean, American, Mexican American, or whatever you want to say. Last time I checked, right? He tested positive for cocaine, and he got stripped. Remember, he lost his belt? So if we're going to push that narrative, this is an example that's totally against the narrative that you're pushing. But I'm not finished. Let's look at all of the substances that are banned. Cocaine is not banned out of competition by WADA. WADA makes no such distinction. Same as amphetamine. So basically, you have WADA, which is a drug organization, and you have WADA, which is a drug organization. The WBC is supposed to follow WADA, but WADA made it. I don't know who made the goddamn determination. I'm confused right now, to be honest with you. I'm confused right now. So anyways, shout out to Not for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy. He said Mexican fighter Errol Spence has been allowed to avoid mandatories for years. Now, look at all of the substances that's banned on this list. So let me get this straight. David Benavidez got popped for using cocaine. This is a banned substance. And because he got caught with a banned substance in his system, he lost his belt. Guess what other banned substance is on this list? Phetamine. Phetamine is a banned substance. Oscar Valdez got popped with it, not only the A sample, but the B sample in his blood. And guess what? He gets to continue to fight. Not only does he fight, he won't get suspended. He's probably not going to get fined, and he's going to defend his title against a brother from Brazil. And he's going to make money off the fight. So tell me this. My question is this for all of the narrative pushers, and my question is this for all of the blacks who say, wait a minute, man, if it was one of us, they wouldn't have done this. They don't do this to their own kind. Clearly, that's not true. And for all you Mexicans out there, for you to sit back and say, oh, man, it's not a big deal, and say, you know, you're making a joke out of it, you're making a big deal out of this. Guess what? Okay, well, guess what? How come David Benavidez lost his belt for getting popped, having cocaine in the system, a banned substance, but this guy has a banned substance, and he gets to fight? And he's a champion. Explain that to me. How come this champion lost his belt, but this champion didn't? And both of them have tested positive for having banned substances in their system. Can somebody make that make sense to me? Clearly, this is not about race or ethnicity because David Benavidez is Mexican, right? Mexican descent. And this guy, Oscar Valdez is Mexican. How did Mauricio Sulaiman is Mexican. So how did Mauricio Sulaiman, Wada, Enchilada, whatever the hell you want to call it, how did they come to the determination that this guy loses his belt, but this guy gets popped for this substance, he don't lose his belt? Yeah, I know y'all ain't got no answer for that. So the narrative pushers, we're going to address that. But you narrative pushers have a point. I'm going to tell you what you got a point at. You showed me exactly what time it is. You guys have opened my eyes. I was blind, but now I can see.
Hey, okay.
I see exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
I almost fell into the trap myself. Let's go here, though. So now, they're saying that, Eddie Reynoso, sir, don't know who you is, sir. Never met you. Don't know any of your fighters personally. Watch some of your fighters online. Watch some of your fighters box on TV, sir. Whatever it is, but I got something to say, sir. 3 of your fighters that came out of your gym got popped dirty. So the old saying is you're guilty by association. Right? You ever been in the streets or hung out with some friends or whatever the case may be, and your mama said you are the company who you keep? If you hanging around pimps and hustlers, guess what? You a pimp or a hustler. If you hanging around 5 pimps and 5 players, or you hanging around 5 drug dealers, guess what? You the 6th drug dealer. If I run a facility, a business, and the business has a reputation for doing certain things that should not be known. Why? Because we have where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Right? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Really though. John Doe, shout out to John Doe.
Hey, okay.
He said this sounds a lot like Mauricio is about to make another confusing mess, like with the franchise belt. That's exactly what it sounds like, John Doe. Shout out to John Doe for dropping that quarter of this up on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Now we're going to get into this. So you got David Benavidez. He got popped with a banned substance. He lost his belt. Oscar Valdez got popped with a banned substance. He keep his belt. Okay.
Hey, okay.
I'm a little confused, but true. But let's keep moving on. So where am I going at with this? Oh, we're going to have a good one today. I promise you that. This guy right here, Eddie Reynoso, sir. Eddie Reynoso camp incidences. This is what they broke down. 2018, Canelo received a 6-month ban for popping dirty for clenbuterol. 6 months wasn't nothing. Because he had a fight, I think, earlier that year. But that's neither here nor there. We're not here to even make this about Canelo. This is about being guilty, guilty of association. This guy is in the middle of this. Somehow, some way, he's in the middle of this. So for the narrative pushers, oh man, you just because Eddie Reynoso said that people hating on him on Twitter. He responded back to Devin Haney, oh, you just a hater, yada 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 yada. Maybe he has a point, maybe he don't have a point. But guess what? What we do know is this. Let me see what this guy's So here we go. Banned substances are not against the rules if using doing what is deemed out of competition. Man, I don't want to hear that bullshit. HLD, with all due respect, sir, I do not want to hear that bullshit. Miss me with that, homie.
Hey, okay.
You might need to take that somewhere else. I ain't trying to hear that. Because let me ask you something, HLD. I got to call you out on your bullshit. And this is all due respect. I don't hate you, don't dislike you at all. But I got to call you out on that. Got to call you out on that. You say banned substances are not against the rules if used during what is deemed as out of competition. So let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. So when David Benavidez lost his belt, did he use this out of competition? Did he use that? Did he use it out of competition? since you know so much about this, did he use this out of competition? So this guy got popped dirty twice. No, he got popped dirty on A sample and B sample. So you saying he used this out of competition? What about when David Benavidez used cocaine? Did he use this out of competition? Nah, I ain't pushing that. You sound like them other dudes who pushing those narratives. I know what side of the fence you on, though, HLD. I got love for you. You all right? But I got to call it like it is. I said I'm going to offend some people today. This ain't about pushing no narratives over here. I got to call it the way I see it. And if me calling it the way I see it offends you, guess what?
Hey, okay.
I do not apologize. Not here to make friends today. Now, this guy right here, Eddie Reynoso, Canelo popped dirty for clenbuterol in 2018. Julio Cesar Martinez, I didn't even know who this guy was. He got caught with clenbuterol, but he was not punished. So Julio Cesar Martinez got caught with clenbuterol. Canelo got caught with clenbuterol. Canelo was punished. He got suspended 6 months. They raised the limits. We know that. But then when he got caught with it, he was not punished. So I guess he fell in the lines of the limits that was raised by Mauricio Sulaiman. Oscar Valdez tests positive for amphetamine. Guess what? He gets the fight. So, again, where am I going at with this? This David Benavidez lost his belt for getting popped for using a banned substance. The substance is banned for a reason. If it's banned, you are not supposed to use it. What you're telling me, HLD, is, oh man, you know, well, you can use the banned substance as long as you're not using it in season. Let me ask you a question, HLD. If Deontay Wilder would have got caught with that, would you be saying that? If Errol Spence got caught with that, would you be saying that, sir? Coach, this is about money. If you broke, money fighters can get suspended, stripped. But if you got money, yada, 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 are you created to get a pass? For all of those who are pushing certain narratives, if it was a fighter that you did not like, would you be saying that? Would you be saying, oh man, you know, they made the right decision. Oh, well, I'll be real good from now on, Mr. Gates. Would you be saying that? HLD said, I did not say that. I said that's what they ruled. What they ruled is some bullshit. I know it and you know it. What they ruled was some bullshit. I know it and you know it. Anyways, let's move on. This guy, Eddie Reynoso, where there's smoke, there's fire. Sir, 2018, Canelo got popped. He got suspended. 2019, Julio Cesar Martinez got popped. He didn't get punished. Oscar Valdez tests positive for amphetamine. It's okay, you used it out of season. That was the ruling. My point is this here though. The WBC uses VADA. How does WADA tell VADA what to do? So the WBC goes by what VADA says. The WBC does not go by what WADA says. The WBC goes by what VADA says. It's like this here, right? Let me break it down like this. This camera is the WBC. This camera, and I am the drug agency that is responsible for catching athletes cheating using performance enhancing drugs or whatever the case may be. And some of you say that's not a performance enhancing drugs. It was Darrenetic or something like that. Oh, I got something for you too. Oh, I got something for you. Yeah, I got something for you. Got something for your ass today. Cause I'm finna pull you out. I'm finna pull all the clothes off you and show you how biased you is. I have to. Now, you know, I'm responsible. So basically, you saying, look here, baby boy, check this out. I'm gonna let you handle all of my drug tests. If anything that you find is banned or illegal, you let me know, and we're gonna punish this fighter. But let's say this microphone is another drug organization. You have an agreement directly with me. So now the microphone, you know, this cup gets popped dirty, you know, and I'm saying, look here, microphone, baby boy, listen, this cup got popped dirty. We made an agreement, this cup got popped dirty, baby boy. You say, okay, well, let's go see what the microphone have to say. Well, the microphone ain't got nothing to do with this, baby boy. The microphone ain't got nothing to do with this. Me and you got something to do with this. Mauricio Sulaiman is saying right here. Mauricio Sulaiman is saying right here. He said it's simple. This is not a performance-enhancing drug. Sulaiman claimed. So we know what side of the fence Mauricio Sulaiman is on. So let me get this straight. You got VADA that's responsible for catching boxers using banned substances. And it's banned for a reason. If it doesn't help you in the competition of fighting another fighter, why would it be banned in the first place? Why would it be banned in the first place? Make that make sense to me. If the shit is banned, it's banned for a reason. So I don't want to hear nothing about, oh man, well, you know, man, this can't help no fighter in no ring. Guess what? I got something for that. You know why you saying that? Because more than likely you support the foolishness that's going on because it fits your narrative, but not only that, it might fit your ethnicity. Yeah, I'm going there today. And I don't care what side of the fence you on. Black, I'm finna call you out. Mexicans, I'm finna call you out. Ethnicity. Whites, I'm fixing to call you out. And I had to call myself out because I almost fell for the banana in the tailpipe myself. This is a touchy subject, but someone got to do it. I might as well be the bad guy. Shit, I am the prince of pissing people off. So I might as well be the bad guy today. I'm the bad guy today. Everybody a damn, all of a sudden, people know so much about this. Shout out to my brother Blood Unboxing. Blood, I got a video. Blood, I want to share this video that Blood said that I totally agree with. That I totally agree with. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up right here. Nah, you know what? I want to show it. Because I want you guys to watch Blood's video. I want you to go and watch it. I'm going to pull it on up, though. I want you to watch it. Did I save it? Oh, you know what? I'm tripping. Sorry about that, guys. I'm tripping. Oh, we getting it in today. I can promise you that. We ain't faking no moves. We ain't faking no jacks. I might lose some, but that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We reload it. It's okay. It's okay. If I do, so be it. But I got to call it the way it is. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. Not here to sugarcoat it. I can't do it. It's not in my blood. It's not in my DNA. It's not in my DNA to sugarcoat. It's not in my DNA. So, this is what I've been noticing. I'm going to slide this on down. I got a million windows up, and I'm going to close all these windows one by one. I'm going to close them all one by one. And I'm finna run through this. This gonna be kind of like a mini slideshow. If I was a prosecutor, I'm lay my case out there for the jury and let the jury decide. Hey, jury, what you got to say? Let the jury decide. But check this out, though. Blood gave me permission to use this, to talk about this, right? Blood gave me permission to talk about this, so I'm gonna do it. We going in.
Oscar Valdez.
We going in. I'm finna break this down for all of those. Oh man, you tripping. I'm seeing people saying, "Oh man, you know what, man? You blacks are you just mad that Mexico is winning and yada 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 and y'all making a big deal out of nothing." My question is this: if it was, and I bang on Wilder for the excuses and stuff like that, but if it was Wilder or Errol Spence, whatever the case may be, with those same people who's making that argument that Oscar Valdez should be able to fight with a banned substance in the system, would you be saying that about them? Hell no. We ain't gonna sugarcoat this shit. But guess what? It goes both ways. Because I see the black YouTubers and the fan bases doing the exact same thing. Everybody doing the same thing. You want to know why? Because everybody has chosen a side. Everybody has chosen a side. And you're always going to choose the side of your group. This is human behavior. This is human behavior. You will always choose the side of your group, whether right or wrong. Do you want to know why? Because I used to do the same thing, baby boy. The only difference between me and some of you, I'm man enough to admit it. I'm man enough to it. I'm man enough to look you in your eyes and admit the error of my ways. And I almost fell for it again. But guess what though? So let's see what Blood got to say.
Has been cleared by the commission to move on with his fight. Now, what's the point in having a banned substance list if you're not going to punish the fighters who violate this list and use some of the banned substances that's on the list? What?
Exactly. What is the purpose of having a banned substance list if you're not even going to enforce the rules that you set yourself? I don't care who does it, whether it was a black fighter, a white fighter, a Hispanic fighter, any fighter, man, woman, any fighter use any substances on a banned substance list should not be allowed to fight. Not only that, but if you strip David Benavidez for using cocaine in his system, I guess maybe he was using it when it was out of season or something like that. Whatever it is, if you're gonna strip David Benavidez, how in the hell you gonna let Oscar Valdez fight? Shit sound good though. It sound good. But bro, go ahead and finish, bro.
Me about the fight fans too. I've listened to a couple of people talk about it, man, and they're still trying to give this guy some kind of an excuse or a pass, right? Especially those guys who are coming around now as experts. I guess they've taken them before or something like that. I don't know. But now they're going
all of you, hold on,
around saying things like, come on, it's not a performance enhancer. It's a diuretic and A, B, and C, right?
So all these scientific YouTubers now. Oh man, you making a big deal out of this, man. Oh, you know this is diuretic. It ain't no performance enhancer. But listen, while ignoring the fact that it's a banned substance, and the people who are saying that the Oscar Valdez sympathizers, y'all are biased as hell because you know if it was another fighter that you didn't like, your tune would be different. Facts. I'm just calling you out on it. Might lose some, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We reloaded. It's okay.
I'm hearing all this bullshit from all these so-called experts. If you cheated, you motherfucking cheated. Point blank period, right? If you have a banned substance list and these fighters are violating what's up on that list and you're going to let them fight anyway, then there's no point in having a fucking list, right? Take clenbuterol and all the stuff that the Mexicans like to take off the list then, right? The shit don't make no sense to me. And then on top of that, to hear all these motherfucking stupid ass fight fans come in here and say things like, well, he didn't do it to enhance his performance in A, B, and he's looking for a motherfucking edge, man.
Listen, he doing a lot of blood, doing a lot of cursing. Listen, fact of the matter is this. You see a lot of all these YouTube scientists coming out here now. All of y'all Victor Contes now. All of y'all coming out and saying, yeah, man, see what it is, baby boy. See what it is. See what it is, baby boy. See what had happened was, baby boy. See what it was. I wasn't trying to cheat. I wasn't trying to do that, right? What it was when I had drunk some tea. Canelo ate some meat. This other guy ate some meat as well. This guy right here. This guy right here, Julio Cesar Martinez. He ate some meat as well. Okay, guess what? All of them are related to this guy. They have an affiliation with this guy. Two-time trainer of the year, Eddie Reynoso. Two-time trainer of the year, Eddie Reynoso. I could see Canelo getting caught, having clenbuterol in his system. He ate some meat in Mexico that was tainted. I do hear that there's a lot of clenbuterol that's put in the meat in Mexico. I understand that. So this is a coincidence. But then this happened the next year. And then this happened 2 years after that. Now, what is it? What are these three coincidences? These are three coincidences. All three of these guys have something in common. This is their trainer. Three coincidences. Wilder has banned substances off competition and in competition. Vada has banned substances across the board. Valdez uses water testing. Therefore, fight still on. Okay. Okay. So according to Kenny Lofton, Kenny, I want to ask you a question. Kenny, I want to ask you. I want to ask you. I got something for you. Tune said, "Ain't it for cutting weight?" Oh, I'm not finished. Oh, I'm not finished. I want to see how you feel when it's over with. I want to see how you feel when it's over. Matter of fact, let me try to get straight to it now. Now, this is the guy right here. This is the guy right here. He said WBC won't punish Martinez and Vargas for positive PED tests. The WBC is punished. What you're gonna have to get me to understand is this, because I ain't the smartest guy in the world, but my GED education tells me, how does David Benavidez get stripped for having a banned substance in his system, but Oscar Valdez and Julio Cesar Martinez don't? All you YouTube scientists in the chat, just break it down for me, baby boy, because break it down for me. I know what side of the fence you're on. Trust me, I do. Trust me, I know what side of the fence you're on. I might lose some today, guys. True. But boy, it is what it is. I am not here to make no goddamn friends. Remember I said all the shit that was going on before I came on the YouTube scene? Remember I said that, guys? East Coast, West Coast beef, whatever beef was going on with the Mexican community and the black community and whatever all this race shit was going on, I said, look, that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. It don't. I ain't here to listen. I got to call it, but I got to call it the way I goddamn see it. Because I know if you have a fighter who you like, you would not be giving him the benefit of the doubt. You would not be giving the fighter that you don't like the benefit of the doubt. Just admit it. Just say it. I respect. See, let me tell you something what I like about. In America, right? Black people, we finna go somewhere with this. Black Americans love the Democrat Party. Black Americans vote for the Democrat Party, been voting for the Democrat Party for 60 years straight. They love the Democrat Party. And the Republican Party, we're told, is racist. Both sides is racist, but Black Americans like the Democrat racism a little bit more, and they hate the Republican racism, right? Because the Democrat racism is more covert. The Republican racism is like, man, fuck you niggas, I don't care nothing about y'all. Right? So the Black Americans like the covert stuff, right? Me, I'm a little different. I got friends that get upset. Man, I don't like him. He racist. He got a Confederate flag. He didn't see that. Yada, 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 yada. I like the open races. You want to know why I like the open races? Because I get a chance to, at least I know who he is. I don't like the guy who, act like we all cool. True. But yet, he trying to stab me in the back. All smooth. I don't like the smooth guy. I like the rattlesnake. The rattlesnake will rattle his tail and let you know, look here, baby boy, you should take one more step now. I'm telling you now. So, depending on what side of the fence you on, you cool with this. Yeah, I went there. So, the WBC, this is the WBC. So, this is the guy right here. So, we're gonna close that. We close that window. Blood, keep talking, bro.
Shit for a reason, right? It's on the ban list, so he should be suspended. But these fighters continue to get away with this bullshit, right? This is unbelievable, man. Valdez tests positive for a banned stimulant, yet he's still ready to fight. Did they strip him of his title? Probably not. Let's see what YouTube got to say about this shit, man. It's a mess. Eddie Hearn reacts to Oscar Valdez ruling. Yeah, it is a mess, but he's going to still be allowed to go out there and fight, though.
But hold on, it's something that Blood said in this. Let me see.
Be suspended, and he needs to be stripped of that title. Yesterday.
Hello.
Somebody's calling me. I don't need you calling me on the show. Don't call me while I'm on the show, man. Do not call me while I'm on the show. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, goddamn, like, yeah, don't call me when I'm on the show.
Between 2 or 3 different shows, the drug was something totally different, right? And not one of them motherfuckers who I heard talking about it ever took it. If it's on the fucking list, he needs to be suspended and he needs to be stripped of that title.
So this is the argument. Well, Wada says something different. So basically, Oscar Valdez, he's enrolled with WADA, but the WBC uses VADA. It's on the and Oscar Valdez signed up for the VADA program. So what you saying ain't making no sense to me. When you say, well, really, no, he uses WADA. No, he signed up for VADA. He signed up for VADA. But I get it. It has to fit your narrative because you're showing who you really are. You're showing your bias. And there's nothing wrong with that. I will respect you if you say, you know what, dog? I'm biased as hell. I like Oscar Valdez. I care nothing that he got caught with a banned substance. My bias is he's one of my favorite fighters. I like him. I want him to fight. I'd rather you say that than trying to be a goddamn bean soup scientist trying to make it. Now all of a sudden you understand what VADA and WADA is and see this what they really mean and yada 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 and blah blah blah. No, we ain't doing that shit. Man, I ain't playing these crackhead games today, man. Not me. And if I lose you, so be it. It is what it is. True. I gotta call this shit the way I see it, though. I gotta call it the way I see it. The sport of boxing is corrupt. And the fans, depending on what side of the fence you're on, have taken sides. So this is what this show about. Which side you on? Who you with? Lil John Eastside Boys. Who you with? Who you with? Who you with? Get crunk. Who you with? Who you with? Who you with? Who you with? Get crunk. Who you with? Who you with? I know who some of y'all with. I've been watching y'all real close. I just don't say nothing, though. I just don't say nothing. But I know who some of y'all with. I watch some of you on other people's channels. I just sit back and watch. I know who some of y'all with. I don't say nothing, though. Some of them in the chat. I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing. Some of you in the chat, but I don't say nothing. I know who you is. You think I don't see you? I see you.
Hey, okay.
I see who you is. Know your background, know when you came on the scene, but that's okay. I want you to come on out the closet, though. I want you to be the Republican. Let me know. Hey, look here, man. I ain't doing nothing for you, baby boy. But I ain't all that there. We ain't gonna do none of that. Don't be the Democrat racist. It ain't like that, baby boy. Don't be like that. Come on out. And I'm not saying anyone is racist. I'm not saying anyone in the chat is racist. So don't get my words twisted. I'm just saying the narrative pushers. What side are you on this? What side you on? Do you feel like it's okay for an athlete to get popped with a banned substance and still fight? Because that athlete is your ethnicity. Because that athlete is of your group. Do you feel like it's okay? And if you feel like it's okay, why you didn't feel that way about David Benavidez? David Benavidez lost his belt for getting popped with a banned substance. Why you didn't feel that way about David Benavidez? Boy, if you didn't have a double standard, you wouldn't have a standard at all. Let's keep moving, though. What about this guy? What about this guy right here? Do anybody know who this guy is? Before I tell you who it is. Do anybody know who this guy is? Do anybody know who this guy is right here? Do anybody know who this guy is right here? I'm gonna give y'all some time to figure out who he is. Guess who this guy is? This guy name is Robson Conseco. This is who Oscar Valdez is fighting on September the 10th. He's from Brazil. This guy is from Brazil. He's a gold medalist, 2016 gold medalist for Brazil. That's why you see him biting on the gold medal. This guy, and I think he's a top ranked fighter. This guy is who Oscar Valdez is fighting. Oscar Valdez fights for who? Top rank. We finna call them all out today. Mauricio Sulaiman, Eddie Reynoso, Bob Arum. I am calling you out today. I don't care nothing about no interviews. I don't care nothing about being in good graces. I don't care nothing about being blackballed. Well, you ain't gonna be able to get on the inside. Nigga, I don't want to be on the inside. You ain't gonna be able to, when you go to the fights and stuff, man, you ain't gonna be able to get no press credentials. I don't care nothing about no damn press credentials. Care nothing about your press credentials. I care nothing about who you are, how long you've been in the game, what fighters you have interviewed, who has certain power structures, and what cliques and crews. I care nothing about that. I don't care what set you claim. Guess what? That shit ain't got nothing to do with me. If you're not about being objective and about what's good for the sport of boxing, guess what? You ain't on my side of the fence. I always told you guys, I love the sport of boxing more than what? I love an individual fighter. I always told you guys that. I've been a hundo from day one on that. So I care nothing about an individual fighter. Even my favorite fighter, Terrence Crawford, I take the back seat on that when it comes to the sport of boxing. But guess what? A lot of you don't do that. Y'all don't keep it 100. I'd rather just come on out the closet and just say you ain't gonna keep it 100. Come on out the closet and say, look here, man. Like I tell you this, I'm biased when it comes to Sugar Ray Robinson, my favorite fighter of all time. Some of my favorite fighters have got popped with PEDs. We gonna talk about that. But what about this guy right here? This guy right here is going to fight Oscar Valdez. What is he thinking? If he would have got popped for using amphetamine, do you think that the boxing commission would allow him to fight? If Robson Fonseca, I think that's his name, Fonseca, if he got popped for PEDs, do you think that Mauricio Sulaiman, Bob Arum would have pulled some strings for him and made sure he was able to fight? Jay Triller say, meanwhile, the Snack Gym is on the record saying he can pass any drug test. Oh, you talking about Victor Conte? Yeah. He beat Valdez in the amateurs. Yeah, I know that, Jawan, but that don't mean nothing. Mike Tyson got beat by quite a few people in the amateurs, and then when they got in the pros, he beat the brakes off of them. But I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying, brother. But this guy right here, so let me ask you a question. What if this guy gets in the fight with Oscar Valdez and he get the brakes beat off of him? The same people who saying, oh man, but Oscar Valdez didn't use no PED, and say he didn't use no PED. And that's not the reason why he lost. So let me ask you a question. What if Oscar Valdez was fighting this guy? This guy got popped with having a diuretic in his system, amphetamine. And then he fight, the boxing commission allows him to fight Oscar Valdez, and he beats Oscar Valdez. Would you same guys who are saying that, man, Oscar Valdez should be allowed to fight, would you keep that same energy with him? Would you keep that same energy with him? 9 times out of 10, no. So all I'm saying is just come on out the closet and admit that. Say, look, I'm biased towards this guy. In my subjective opinion, he still should be able to fight. But would you feel the same way about him? The answer is no. I know that you know it. The difference between me and you, I'm going to be honest about it. I'm biased as hell when it comes to Pernell Whitaker. I'm biased as hell when it comes to Sugar Ray Robinson. I'm biased as hell when it comes to Mike Tyson. I'm biased as hell when it comes to Rudd Jones Jr. I'm biased as hell when it comes to the marvelous Marvin Hagler. In my eyes, they couldn't do any wrong even though they did wrong. And today I got to admit that they did do some wrong. Period. Shout out to my main man, Toon,
Hey, okay.
for dropping that half of this up on your boy. Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy. He said, you think that they should run the Valdez Burchell back? Your thoughts on what Haney said? Yeah, Haney, Haney has a right to feel the way he feels. Question is, if it was Haney or any other the favorites, would it be the same? With the T being excuse or explanation? To be honest with you, I was saying that same thing, but guess what? It has happened to black fighters and they have not been suspended as well. So it's not a race thing. It's not a race thing. This is what I'm trying to say, guys. This situation is not a race thing, but the fans and certain boxers have made it racial. You want to know why? Because that's the narrative. Do you want to know why that's the narrative? Because there have always been people who cling on to their groups. This is human behavior. If you're black, you're going to ride with whatever black. If you're Latino, you're going to ride with everything Latino. If you're white, you're going to ride with everything white. This is not racism. This is just human behavior. Human behavior, you always cling on to your clique, your group. Am I lying? Can anybody keep it 100 with me and admit that?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Knot for dropping that quarter of a this up on your boy. Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy. He said, did anyone even ask Rob if he was okay with fighting Valdez? It's really his decision. It's his decision, but who knows what financial situation he's in. He said, come on. This is like getting caught with pot, not crack. Okay, I got you. So you said that this is nothing. This is really like getting caught with pot, not crack. Okay. He's the expert in this. So I said, you know what? I want to go to somebody as an expert. I want to go to somebody who's an expert. Because this is when Canelo got popped. But we ain't got to talk about Canelo. Canelo don't have anything to do with this. Canelo don't have anything to do with this. This is water under the bridge. But 3 people I'm looking at is Oscar Valdez. 4 people I'm looking at. Ray Reynoso, Mauricio Sulaiman, and Bob Arum. And my question is this. If a fighter that you did not like got popped dirty, would you be saying, oh man, this is like comparing weed and cocaine? Would you be saying that?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Thomas Jones for dropping that quarter of a this up on your boy. Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy. I just want you to come out the closet and admit who you are. Come out in the open. That's it. That's it. So now let's keep going. Everybody clings on to their own group. It's human behavior. Even animals do it. I don't see nothing wrong with it myself, to be honest with you. If that's what you do, that's what you do. Check this out, though. Louis King Kong Ortiz. Remember him? King Kong Ortiz suspended, and he was stripped of his mandatory status by the WBA. Why did King Kong Ortiz get stripped and suspended? Luis Ortiz won't be able to compete in the WBA sanctioned bouts for a year. Why is that? Ortiz status, he said the Boxing World Organization, WBA, has suspended Louis King Kong Ortiz for 1 year and removed him from its mandatory challenger status and rankings entirely. Ortiz's status and recognition as mandatory contender is revoked. Ortiz is removed from the WBA ratings and suspended from participation in any WBA sanctioned bouts for 1 year. So WBC is a sanctioning body. And they have the discretion to do whatever they want to do. If you sign up for BATA, you break their rules. You sign up for the BATA program. The WBC use the BATA program. You break those rules. It's simple. So you get suspended. Even Canelo got suspended. Some say it was really wasn't a suspension, but neither here nor there, even Canelo got suspended. David Benavidez got stripped of his title. Real funny. King Kong Ortiz was suspended for a whole year in 2018. After the March 22nd, 2018, Ortiz may request his suspension to be lifted, which may be granted in sole discretion of the WBA. Ortiz was set to face Deontay Wilder for the WBC belt on Saturday, but was mandatory challenger for Anthony Joshua's WBA belt. So Ortiz was the mandatory challenger for Anthony Joshua's WBA belt in 2018. He failed a VADA drug test in the lead up to the Wilder fight. What did he do? He failed a VADA drug test. King Kong Ortiz failed a VADA drug test. We don't care how old he was. We don't care if he was a champion or not. We don't care about none of that. He failed a VADA drug test. How do you fail a VADA drug test? Well, if you take something that's on the banned list or that's against the rules, that is grounds for a suspension. Right? So Mauricio Sulaiman is the president of the WBC, right? How did he come to the conclusion that, well, you know what? Ortiz is going to be suspended and stripped of his WBA status, which the WBA did this. Sorry about that. The WBA did this. Getting confused. The WBA did this. So the WBA is different from the WBC, apparently. So the WBA, if you violate the VADA drug test, they will strip you. WBC is subjective, depending on how Mauricio Sulaiman feels that day. But this guy failed something that was a part of the VADA drug testing. This is the key part right here, because the WBC is using VADA and someone violates VADA. How come the WBA says, hey, you know what, King Kong, you violated the VADA, you signed up for the VADA program, we're going to suspend you. But the WBC say, hey, you failed the VADA test, you signed up for the VADA program, you failed the test, don't worry about it, we're going to let you fight and keep your belt. All you scientists out there, can you know, the ones who like, oh man, you tripping, man, that, you know, they were just a diuretic and, you know, you comparing apples to oranges.
Hey, okay.
I'm not screaming racism in this issue. Has nothing to do with race. This has nothing to do with race. The sport of boxing is corrupt. They're very subjective and pick and choose who they want to give a pass to. But everybody else who have their narratives is showing who you are. So all I'm saying is this here. What side are you on? Who you with? And just come out and admit it. That's all I'm saying. Just admit, man, look, this is how I see it. You know, I'm with my group, and here's what it is. This is why I say that. And if it happened on the other side, I'll be saying something totally different. Guess what? It ain't nothing wrong with that. You know why I say there's nothing wrong with that? Because I respect you telling the truth. I'm finna show you something. Hold on, I got something to show you. Oh, that's why I wanted to pull that up. That's why I wanted to pull up blood. Bear with me one moment, guys. Bear with me one moment. Hold on. That's why I want to pull that up. I want to show you something. Oh, I got a teaching point right here. Oh, I got a teaching point. Boy, I got to show you something. Now, it's this one dude on here I respect. It's this one guy that left a comment on Blood Boxing video. Oh, I respect the hell out of this guy. Oh, I respect the hell out of this guy. Oh, I respect the hell out of this guy. Where's this guy? Where you at, fam? Where you at? Come on, man. I need to know where you at. Oh, this guy, hold on. This guy, oh. Here it go right here. This guy right here, this is what he said. Fausto de la Garza. Fausto de la Garza. This is his name. He said, boxing is about race, homie. I'm riding with my people. Mexican flag. I don't care if Mexican boxers cheat. I respect that guy.
Hey, okay.
I respect that guy. You want to know why I respect that guy? Because he told the truth. He was honest. I love this guy. You want to know why I love this guy? Because he was honest. He said, to him, he said, boxing is about race. Homie, I'm riding with my people. I don't care if Mexican boxers cheat. I respect his honesty. How can you not respect that? Toon says, can we make a case for Jared Miller now? Or is it still a no?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to my man Toon for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Toon, hell no. Jared Big Baby Miller, the only case we can make for him is he deserved to never box again. Elder, he said, you're right, coach. We do cap for our favorite. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Easy Dime say, if it's on the ban list, then they should get some type of punishment, even if it helps a little or it's a big difference. The thing is, why even have a list if you're not going to enforce it? You feel me? If you listen, if you have a list, why if you're not going to go by the rules, listen, it's just like this. It's just like you get on the job, right? And you work on the job, and your boss say, "Hey man, listen, you can't. There's no smoking in the break room." The TV. I used to work in the warehouse, right? I used to deliver furniture, and we used to have to load the trucks up. So in the warehouse, there's a sign saying there's no smoking in the break room. If you get caught smoking in the break room, we're gonna suspend you. And then if you get caught again, we're going to fire you. And then I get caught in the break room. And then you say, well, don't worry about it. Just don't have a ban list. Just say, look, we can do whatever we want to do. Now, this guy does not represent everyone of Mexican descent. But this is subjective to him. In his opinion, he say boxing is about race. He's letting you know how he sees the world. His worldview, de la Garza, his worldview is boxing is about race. He's riding with his people. Guess what? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, but if I asked him if someone that wasn't his people got caught cheating, would he feel the same way? I'm pretty sure he will be honest with me and say, you know what? No, I think that dude need to be banned. I respect the hell out of him. He ain't even hiding how he feel about it. Now, that doesn't represent everybody. Everybody of Mexican descent, not Mexican descent, but Mexican ethnicity. It doesn't mean that. Or he represents the Latino race. It doesn't mean that. The Hispanic race, so to speak. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. But that's how he feels, and that's subjective to him. And guess what? Ain't nothing wrong about that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Steve in the UK say, New Media Today, USA Boxing. Go to Vitaly website, look at the prohibited list, find amphetamine, and then read it. Read the first paragraph in the document. Yeah, I ain't got time to look at it now, but I'll check it out. It ain't nothing wrong with that, if that's how he feel. He say, if anyone knows how to beat a drug test, it's Victor Conti. Oh, you jumping ahead of me. Guess what? Let's keep it moving. So this is I told you who this guy was. This is the guy who Oscar Valdez is going to fight. His name is Robson Fonseca. He's from Brazil. Right? So now you know what he looked like. That's who he's going to fight. Gold medalist, 2016. Oh, let's keep going. So this is the reason why Wilder and King Kong Ortiz did not fight in 2018, because King Kong Ortiz got suspended by bottle drug test. He got suspended by the bottle in the lead up to fighting Deontay Wilder, and that set up the stage for Wilder to have to fight his mandatory, because Wilder was going to avoid his mandatory to fight Luis Ortiz. But when Luis Ortiz popped dirty, he was forced to fight his own mandatory, Bermane Stiverne. And that's when in the rematch, and that's when he beat Bermane Stiverne. So they say the WBA has also ordered that for the suspension to be lifted. In order for the suspension to be lifted, Ortiz must continue with the VADA program. So the WBA sticks to the VADA program, the WBC doesn't. Okay. So we got that out the way, right? So y'all follow me right there. Y'all following me so far. Y'all following me so far. Oh, we gonna get into this. This is one of my favorite fighters. It pains me to do this. But guess what? Unlike this guy. Unlike this guy who is pledging allegiance to his bias as it relates to he stick with his people, his group, and there's nothing wrong. I don't have a problem with that. Unlike this guy does not have an objective bone in his body. He's letting you know this. Guess what? This is my guy right here. Iron Mike Tyson. So for all of you pushing the narrative that, man, if it would have happened to somebody black, you know what I mean? They, they would have slammed us immediately. Nah. That's not true. Good narrative, though. Good narrative, but that's not true. But anyways, this is Tyson Fury. Sorry about that. I was going to Mike Tyson. This is Tyson Fury. We know Tyson Fury tested positive for cocaine. And I think when Tyson Fury tested positive, he got, and this is on the Vegas Volatility. He's a part of VADA, right? You know, Tyson Fury got tested positive, and I think he got suspended. Tyson Fury got suspended. Tyson Fury got suspended. Do you guys remember this? Tyson Fury got suspended. Do you guys remember that? So this ain't no race thing. But how did they determine to suspend him? Some fighters get suspended for popping dirty and some don't. This ain't about no race. So for those who trying to make it racial, if you're on the black side, yeah, man, you see, if it wasn't nobody black, they'll do us like A, B, C, and D. I get it, the victim mentality. And then if you're on the Mexican side, oh man, yeah, and say, you know, if it was one of us, they would have did A, B, C, and D. Both sides full of shit. Both sides pushing the narrative, and both sides really believe that which they're saying. Both sides believe that. Remember, Tyson Fury got popped dirty and he got suspended. He ended up giving up all his belts, whatever. I think he got stripped of one or something like that. But we don't have to relitigate that story. We don't have to relitigate that. We don't have to relitigate that at all. So let's see what I got right here. Do you remember Dillian White? So we got a Mexican, a white guy, Tyson Fury, and we have a black guy, Dillian White. This ain't about no race. Dillian White allegedly tested positive for PEDs. Now, I don't know exactly what happened to Dillian White. Dillian White tested positive, conducted by UCAD for his last Saturday fight. So he tested positive after the fight, because I think he had this fight and he got tested positive. White promoter Eddie Hearn says that he was cleared to fight Rivas by UCAD, so they cleared him and VADA. So Dillian White was cleared to fight. Apparently, he didn't have anything in his system. And what they said right here is this. It said, it is with great stupefaction we have learned yesterday that the news about the testing results of Dillian White before the WBC title against Oscar Valdez. Up to this moment, nobody on the concerned parties have confirmed or denied to us this information. Dillian White tested positive. We don't know what happened to the B sample. The A sample, he tested positive. The B sample, we don't know exactly what happened to it. And then they turned around and said that Dillian White didn't pop dirty. That's what they say. So, I don't know exactly what happened to that. I don't know exactly what happened to that at all. I really don't. But let's look at this. Let's look at this. Because I was going to show you guys something, right? But I ain't got to show you that. Remember they say boxing is a corrupt sport. A lot of you guys may not know that. Some of you guys, some of the new booters may not know that. But guess what? Boxing is a very corrupt sport. This is one of my favorite promoters, Don King. Don King sees the opportunity to start the United States Boxing Championships in 1976, 2 years after I was born. When America was celebrating its bicentennial and the U.S. Olympic boxing team had just scored 5 gold medals, King sold the idea of the United States Boxing Championship tournament to ABC to broadcast. The tournament would be filled with bums and journeymen that needed validation. So you know how we always sit back and say, yo, man, you know, you can't call nobody no bum. They putting their life on the line. This article is from the Bleacher Report. And the guy who wrote this article said the tournament was filled with bums and journeymen that needed validation. I'm finna show you some of the corruption in the sport. That's where the Ring magazine came in. Now I think Oscar De La Hoya owns Ring magazine now. Show you guys how far Ring magazine go back. The Ring's rankings were bought by Don King. What does it have to do with PEDs? It ain't really got nothing to do with PEDs, but I'm trying to show you how things work in the sport of boxing. Eddie Reynoso. Bob Arum. Woo. Mauricio Sulaiman.
Hey, okay.
Y'all need to know how this works. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don King, that's where Ring magazine came in at. The Ring's rankings were bought by Don King, who recognized that Ring had been dropping in subscriptions every year since 1962. Ring got the publicity of a Don King tournament. And Don King got his fighters the validation they needed in order to market and justify his events. Deep investigations into reporting from boxing journalists who grew suspicious of the depth of quality opposition in these bouts exposed by King. What happened? What happened, coach? So this is what goes on with the rankings in boxing. You ever wonder, man, goddamn, man, Dillian White, man, and all these other fighters, man, they've been sitting here, they've been the mandatory for yada, 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 yada. They ain't fought yet, and they ain't did this yet, and man, I don't know what's going on. Why Mauricio Sulaiman doing this, and why that organization doing that, and why why they keep skipping over this fighter, and he been the mandatory for 25 years, and yada, 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 yada. Oh, this giving you some insight into it. It's a deep investigative reporting from boxing journalists who grew suspicious of the depth of the quality of opposition in these bouts. Soon, word that at least 11 fighters participating in the tournament had falsified records go out, and ABC became worried. After a participant in the tournament came clean about many of the fights being rigged to give victories to fighters who had contracts with Don King. ABC finally canceled the tournament. King would let some of his associates receive legal blowback as he escaped unscathed from this scandal. Some say the scandal hurt Ring magazine's credibility so bad that the WBC and WBA sanctioning bodies were given more power and authority from the incident. Thus, the later creation of the IBF and WBO. This goes on in the sport of boxing. So when you see stuff like Ring magazine, you say, well, how this guy ranked here, such, and that guy ranked over there, and yada, 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 yada. This goes on in the sport of boxing. Because sport of boxing is a very corrupt sport. This is why somebody like an Oscar Valdez can get popped for unbanned substance, and then you have some fans be like, oh man, you don't know what you're talking about, man. That ain't no PED, whatever the case may be. I'm down with OPP. You know me, because it fits the narrative. Very corrupt. Let's keep it moving, though. Let's keep it moving. Oh, let's keep it moving. Oh, I got we almost through. We almost through. Check this out. This right here, I found this little article from the Fight Club writer. It broke down. It says 10 of the most infamous PED users in boxing. Now, as you can see, it's all over the place. Francis Botha, accomplishments, former WBF heavyweight champion, drug of choice, nandrolone. Nandrolone. Remarks Botha defeated Axel Schultz in the IBF heavyweight title for the IBF heavyweight title in 1995, but was stripped of the title after testing positive for steroids. Steroids is a banned substance. He got stripped after testing positive. Tommy Morrison, RIP to the late Tommy Morrison. RIP to the late Tommy Morrison. I don't want to read anything about Tommy Morrison because he's not here. But RIP to Tommy Morrison. Ivan Drago killed Apollo Creed. And you know he was using PEDs. But all jokes aside, Vitaly Klitschko. Vitaly Klitschko for compliment, we know who the Klitschko brothers is. Drug of choice, steroids. Remarks he was thrown off the Ukrainian Olympic boxing team in 1996 after testing positive for a banned substance. Klitschko admitted in his autobiography that he used steroids to deal with a leg injury. Vitaly Klitschko. My main man, James likes out Tony. Hurts me in my heart to talk about this because of my bias. But I got to put my biases aside. Accomplishments. 4-division champion, current IBA heavyweight champion, drug of choice, nandrolone, boldenone, known as EQ, and stanozol. Remarks the number of world titles he has won is just as long as the list of number of steroids he has taken. Tony is one of the toughest SOBs to ever enter the ring, and yet he failed 2 post-drug tests. Tony tested positive for steroids after winning the WBA heavyweight title from John Ruiz in 2005. And failed yet another drug test in 2007 following the victory against fellow steroid juicer Danny Bachelden. Despite using steroids, Tony's pudgy physique remained the same. So when they say the sport of boxing is dirty, this ain't got nothing to do with no racism. This ain't got nothing to do with no Mexican fighters. This ain't got nothing to do with no black fighters. This ain't got nothing to do with no white fighters. No, listen, this is all across the goddamn board. You narrative pushers want to cling on to your group. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Just come out and say that. I will respect you even more. Ricardo Mayorga. Remember this guy. Drug of choice. I don't know how to spell his name. Furosemide. Whatever. Mayorga failed his post-fight drug test following his knockout loss to Oscar De La Hoya in 2006. So he was on drugs when he fought Oscar De La Hoya. The drugs didn't help him. So just because you use steroids or some kind of banned substance doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the fight. Because Mayorga fought De La Hoya on steroids and he got the brakes beat off of him. Fernando Vargas. Accomplishments. Fernando Vargas is the 2-time junior middleweight champion. Is a prime example of how steroids don't stop you from getting knocked out. He was on steroids when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, and Oscar De La Hoya beat the brakes off him too. Didn't help him. Now wait a minute, man. What you talking about, coach? Steroids is performance enhancing, and amphetamine is not. This ain't got nothing to do with that. You comparing apples and oranges. I'm not finished yet. My favorite fighter, one of my favorite fighters, Sugar Shane Mosley, accomplishments. He passed all of his blood doping tests prior to fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr. His drug of choice, the cream, the clear, EPO. Balco was known for that. Remarks, Mosley was the second of 3 known opponents to use performance enhancers against Oscar De La Hoya. Mosley went on the Barry Bonds Balco diet for his 2003 rematch against Oscar De La Hoya. And unlike Vargas and Mayorga, Mosley Balco products carried him to a close controversial win. So Sugar Shane Mosley, who is black, African-American, used steroids, used the clear when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, and he beat him. This is all over. This is all over. This is all over the board. This is all over the board. One of my favorite fighters, I got him on the wall right there. Roy Jones Jr. It hurt. See, if I was biased, I wouldn't be talking about my favorite fighters, but I have to. If I was biased, I wouldn't talk about my group. Like this guy over here said. He focuses on his group. If I was biased, I wouldn't show nothing about my group. If I'm gonna show one side, I gotta show the other side as well. But that's the objectivity in me. I'm pissing a lot of people off probably, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. So, Roy Jones Jr., drug of choice, androstenedione. I just say androstenedione. Remarks Jones tested positive for PEDs after his 2000 win over Richard Hall. According to Jones, the over-the-counter product Ripped Fuel, which contains the substance that he got, the substance that was in his system that was on the ban list, was responsible for his failed drug test. If you fail a drug test, that means that you should not be using it. Androstenedione was on the IBF's banned substance list. So basically, the example that you are sending, Mauricio Sulaiman, is that if you can use a drug that's on the banned substance list, you can still fight because it's not a performance enhancer. Okay.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Big Al on the scene for dropping that quarter of a disarb on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He says serious advantage that help him knock out Burchell and keep that same energy in the 11th round. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm finna get to that. I'm finna get to that, fam. I'm finna get to that. I'm fixing to get to that. You beating me to it, brother. Evander the Real Deal Holyfield. Remember that guy? The Evander the Real Deal Holyfield, his drug of choice was testosterone, better known as test, HGH, and glucose. Treatments for impotence. Remarks, the federal documents say Evander Holyfield received packages containing human growth hormones in 2004. Now, there's been rumored that Holyfield has been using PEDs all his life. One of my favorite fighters. But those are rumors. But he was using human growth hormones in 2004. The packages were addressed to Evan Fields. So he was receiving packages under a different name to his address. But Evander Holyfield PED usage could have possibly started back in 1988 during his jump up to heavyweight. According to Dr. Margaret Goodman, Holyfield was questioned by the Nevada Athletic Commission about HGH usage following his 1994 loss to Michael Moore. After that fight, Holyfield encountered heart problems that could have been caused by human growth hormone usage. Listen, if you're using human growth hormones, it can grow your heart as well. And I remember that like it was yesterday because Holyfield had to retire from boxing because he was having irregular heartbeats. Shout out to Y2K.
Hey, okay.
For dropping out quarter of a disarb on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Yeah, this ain't about pushing on narratives today. This ain't about pushing on narratives today, y'all. Can't do it.
What?
I gotta call everybody out. The black man, the Mexican, the white man, the Puerto Rican, the Dominican, the Asian, the African, every can. Shout out to Asia Broner. We the can man today. We calling everybody out. Cheating is across the board. So for those who pushing if it was us, we would have did it. They let the Mexicans slide, but let it have been one of us. We get punished. Quite a few of these fighters, black fighters, did not get punished. Didn't get suspended at all. So that narrative is not true. They stripped David Benavidez. His drug of choice is cocaine. And if you're on the Mexican side, yeah, it say, you know, I'm down with my group. I don't care if they cheat. It's fine. It's not a big deal. We're going to get to that. I'm not finished. We're going to get to that. We almost through, though. We almost through. So we don't went to there. We don't seen how Tyson Fury and other people and yada, 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 yada. I was looking at some of the people who felt pop dirty. Orlando Salido, remember him? Evander Holyfield, we talked about him. Roy Jones Jr., Fernando Vargas, James Toney, Franz Botha, Ali Adams, I remember him. Sugar Shane Mosley, Sam Solomon, Marius Watch, Antonio Tarver, the guy who knocked out Roy Jones. Andre Berto, yeah, got popped dirty too. Eric Morales, yeah, got popped dirty too. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., yeah. You see, this is all across the board. Lamar Peterson, one of my favorite fighters. Mickey Bay, Jalen Love, Brian McGee. So, I asked you who you with. Which side you on? What side you on? Who you with? I'm going to tell you who I'm with. I'm going to tell you who I'm with. Who you with? Because that's what I see going on. Everybody clinging on to their group. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. Just come out and admit it. That's why I respect this guy right here so much. I respect this guy so much because he had the balls to say what a lot of people already feel. I'm riding with my people. I don't care if Mexican boxers cheat. I respect him for that because he told the truth. He told his subjective truth. He doesn't speak for all Mexican people. He speaks for himself. But at least he was honest. I respect his honesty. Oh, so where we going at? We going to Floyd Mayweather. Oh, we going to Floyd Mayweather. Oh, I'm finna piss off some Floyd Mayweather fans. I told you guys, I'm pissing everybody off today. I got to call it. I got to be as unbiased as I possibly can. The IV. You remember the IV? Floyd Money Mayweather. Granted, this isn't cheating. Granted, this isn't cheating so much as concealing cheating. An IV is deeply useful for a fighter struggling with a weight cut. If you need to starve or dehydrate yourself down to nothing to make weight, the IV is a quick way to restore fluids while scrambling to get back into functional shape by the time you step in the ring. So it helps you. Still, it's banned before fights for a reason. Let me get this straight. Taking an IV before a fight is banned. You are not allowed to do it. Shout out to Major Key Boxing in the building. Shout out to Black and Brown Boxing.
Hey, okay.
You are not allowed to do it. IV infusions can mask other forbidden substances. Also, for you guys who say, "Oh man, you know, man, amphetamine ain't no bad thing, man. It just help them lose weight." You don't know what you're talking about, coach. Oh, I got something for you. You bean soup scientists. You are professionals of federal. I got something for you. Got something for you. So still it's a ban. Still taking the IV is banned before fights for a reason. IV infusions can mask other forbidden substances. After the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight, it was discovered that Floyd Mayweather had used an IV in his own home the night before the bout. So let me get this straight. Floyd Mayweather took an IV the night before the fight. And it is it's forbidden for you to do that. But Floyd Mayweather did it anyways. He did the forbidden. it says that this was incredibly suspicious for a number of reasons. For one, Floyd Mayweather essentially fights at his normal weight. So he really has no need to take it to cut weight, right? Fighters easily can balloon up 20 pounds between weigh-ins and entering the ring. But Floyd Mayweather's size goes largely unchanged. So he had no reason to use the IV for those purposes. Things got even shadier when it was revealed Mayweather had a waiver to use the IV that he received weeks after the fight as well. At minimum, using the IV when the other guy can't use an IV enables you to rehydrate faster than your opponent. More damagingly, it's a gateway to a whole new level of cheating. Has Floyd Mayweather ever been popped dirty for anything? No, he hasn't. Has Floyd Mayweather ever been disqualified or something for cheating? No, he hasn't. I'm just putting it all out there. Shout out to Supreme Tax.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
You see, just want to hear the Hey Leroy soundbite. Volusia County in the building. Shout out to Volusia County right here in Florida. I get it. It said weeks after, but also it says that he took it right before the fight as well, the night before. It says it was discovered Mayweather had used an IV in his own home the night before the bout as well. Now, it is what it is. I'm just putting it out there. Triple X says Floyd's test results are sealed by law. Yeah, I get it. It's sealed by law. JHL said that waiver got lost in the post. Yeah, it was a waiver. He got it waived. But I say all that to say this. I'm not saying Floyd Mayweather cheated, but what I'm saying is, do you remember the rumors that was going on about Floyd? Floyd took an IV. Floyd cheating too. He could be dirty as well. Because from the Floyd Mayweather camp was saying that Manny Pacquiao was cheating. Remember they were saying Manny Pacquiao was on PEDs and he was cheating, and look how he knocking all these people out, and he moving up from flyweight and he knocking all these people out. Remember they were saying that, but Manny Pacquiao never got popped for PEDs. But I'm saying all that to say this. There's a lot of double standard. Guys, you know my saying. If you didn't have a double standard, you wouldn't have a standard at all. There's a lot of double standards I see going on out there. So it seems to be what's good for some is not good for others. You get what I'm saying? I just want everybody to admit, listen, everybody clings on to their own group. There's nothing racist about that. I just like you to come on out of the closet and admit it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If that's what you do, that's what you do. I don't like the hypocrisy when a person try to make it seem like I'm being objective when all the while you being subjective. And if that's the way you feel, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Sugar Shane Mosley. We already talked about Sugar Shane Mosley. We already talked about that. But in order for me to be fair, I had to go all across the board, right? I got to go all across the board. This ain't a race thing. The people who choosing sides might be making it racial. But this ain't got nothing to do with no race. But I get it, though. Trust me, I do get it. So they say, man, it's a diuretic. It's a diuretic. Coach, it just help you lose weight. Oscar Valdez don't have no advantages. That's what they say in the chat, the guys who taking up for it. So let's go look at what a diuretic is. A diuretic, it's now I'm not an expert. I'm not a YouTube scientist. I don't know everything. I'm not all in the videos, all in the shows. That ain't me. But I can read, and I do have a level of understanding. So it's along with bromotan, which we just talked about, diuretics have long served as a way to mask steroid use. Yeah, you can get it. So when you say, oh, he just used a diuretic, I noticed the dudes who saying, oh man, it's like comparing apples and oranges, and oh, you know, baby boy, see, you see what it is, see what it is, baby boy, see what had happened was, yeah, I said I got something for you, I got you. I said I got something for you. For those who, oh man, they just like saying comparing weed to crack. Instead of you keeping it G, instead of you keeping it trill like my buddy here. So the person who said that in the chat, the person who said, oh man, you know, water, they said it was okay, but he signed up to Vita program. Vita said it's not okay. But that's neither here nor there. I'd rather you just come out and say like your boy. He said, listen, I'm riding with my people. I don't care Mexican bosses cheat. So when I hear you say that, you telling me you don't care if he cheat. That's what you telling me. That's my interpretation of that. Right? Oh, but I'm not finished. Oh, well, I'll be real good from now on, Mr. Gates. I'm not finished. It says that a diuretic is used. So you guys say, oh, a diuretic, it's just used to help you cut weight. It don't give you no advantages. That's for you. That's for you people who saying this here. The Oscar Valdez fan club. A diuretic is any drug that affects the kidney function. It say diuretics have long served as a way to mask steroid use. What is a mask? Mask is something that covers. If I don't want you to see my face and I put a mask on, I'm putting a mask on my face to cover something. Right? A diuretic is any drug that affects kidney function, resulting in increased urine output. The water pill, chlorothalone, for example, prevents fluids and salts from being reabsorbed into the kidneys and return to the blood. As a result, more water leaves the body, right? This particular thing here, aztecazomine, I don't know how to pronounce it, guys. Please forgive me. Works by blocking the uptake of sodium, right? So let's go here. In patients with certain conditions such as heart disease, diuretics can help control high blood pressure and fluid retention. But athletes, last time I checked, a boxer is an athlete. But athletes who take antibiotic steroids pop diuretics to dilute their urine, which decreases steroid concentration and makes it much more difficult to detect. Where are you? Oh, where are you pro Oscar Valdez should fight, and you don't know what you're talking about? A diuretic is just something to help you lose weight. He does not have a technical advantage. Where are you guys at? Where are you guys at?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you see what it is, see what it is, baby boy, see what had happened was, I want to know where you guys at. Bon Scott says, water considers amphetamine a banned substance in competition, but not out of competition. There we go. So let me ask you a question. If a guy is training for a fight, he's preparing to fight somebody, that's not competition? He's in preparation to get ready to fight somebody. So you saying it's okay for you to use a banned substance as long as you're not using it or tested positive for it in the ring? It's okay for you to use a banned substance. If that's the goddamn case, why even have one? If they didn't have a double standard, you would not have a standard at all. This the bullshit I'm talking about. This what I'm looking at right here. It say the World Anti-Doping Agency considers amphetamine a banned substance in competition, but not out of competition. Bon Scott, you see what I'm saying? This is the bullshit that I'm talking about water. But what does Vita say? If I signed up to a Vita program, Bon Scott, and I'm not banging on you, brother. I'm not banging on you. I'm calling out water right now. If I signed up for Vita, why we can't go about what Vita says? Why we can't go about the program that I signed up for? What makes one doping agency superior over another doping agency? Do you want to know? I got the answer to that. You want to know why? Because the corruption. Mauricio Sulaiman is corrupt. Yeah, I said it. Bob Arum, you know he corrupt. Yeah, I said it. Probably won't never get no interview from Bob Arum, but that's okay. Ray Reynoso, you looking mighty suspicious, boy. And Vado, whoever. Oh, I supposed to ignore this. So how do we know? How do we know that he didn't take this diuretic that he just used to just to lose weight? How do we know that he ain't take that to mass steroids? If it fits your narrative, you don't want to hear that. If it doesn't fit your narrative, you don't want to hear that. If you are saying there's nothing wrong with Oscar Valdez fighting with a banned substance in the system, of course they said, well, he tested again for it on August 30th, and it wasn't in the system no more. Yeah, because it's called cycling out. It's called cycling out. He got it from some tea. What the tea at? If you got it from some tea, surely you had to buy it from a store. Can you take us to the store where the tea was bought at, sir, please? Where the tea at? And if it was a fighter, for all those who's choosing sides, if it was a fighter that was on the other side of the street, would you be saying the same thing? Hell no. Wouldn't be saying the same thing. Wouldn't be saying the same thing. So we're talking about everybody. Blacks, whites, Mexicans, don't matter. Everybody can get it. Cheating is cheating. I don't give a damn what your race or ethnicity is. Cheating is cheating. If anybody, whether it's Evander Holyfield, Roy Jones Jr., one of my favorite fighters who I was a fanboy of, any fighter, Tyson Fury, Oscar Valdez, Canelo Alvarez, Chris Arreola, another one. If you pop dirty for a banned substance, you should be suspended. You should be fined. And if you are a champion, you strip him of his belt. Do you want to know why? Because you did the same shit to David Benavidez. What made David Benavidez so different? So if what you're telling me, well, why they saying is this? Well, see what it is, baby boy. See, this what had happened was, check this out though, dog. See, they put a loophole in the system. They're saying that if you are in preparation for a fight, technically, this is what you call a technicality. Technically, he really not using a banned substance because they can only be banned in competition. Technically, he's still training for the fight. So since he's still training, he's not actually in competition. So we're going to let that slide, baby boy. Tomato, tomato. That's what they're saying. Who you going to believe? Me or your eyes? Don't trust what I'm seeing with my own eyes. Believe you. Because it fits your narrative. Because it's a part of your group. And if you got a group out there, listen. If you Mexicano and you like to ride with Mexicanos, you stick with everything Mexicano, that's your group, and you don't roll with the blacks, guess what? Ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't got a problem with it. If you black and you like to stick with your group and you don't want to roll with the Mexicanos or the whites, and and that's your stand, guess what? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, okay.
If you're white and you like to stick to your white race, and when it comes to fighters, that's the group you want to chill with, and you don't care nothing about what the Mexicans do or the blacks do, and you're gonna stick with your clan no matter what, guess what? It ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna make it comfortable for everybody today. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to the sport of boxing, guess what? When it comes to the sport of boxing, guess what? Skills pay the bills. I don't care what side of the street you on, what your race or ethnicity is. When it comes to the sport of boxing, guess what? Don't none of that shit matter when you step in that ring. The only way it matters is unless that person has an unfair advantage by taking performance-enhancing drugs. So for you guys who trying to tell me that, oh man, you don't know what you're talking about. This is a diuretic. The only thing a diuretic do is it just help you lose weight. That's all it does. But this is science. This is science.howstuffworks.com. Breaking it down. I think I'll believe more what this said than what somebody had behind the avatar who pushing the narrative to support Oscar Valdez for cheating believe. He said, Coach, notice they get popped going into smaller fights, but follow the rules for the super fights, but advances are already took their course. So Christine says it's only banned 24 hours before the fight. Bro, woo, okay. All right, let's. We're gonna keep digging. It's only banned for 24 hours after the fight. So let me ask you a question. So, okay, so it's not a banned substance. It's not a banned substance. It's only banned if you use it 24 hours before the fight. Do you think that's right, Christian Leon? I can't make this up. It's only banned for 24 hours before the fight. So we know what side of the fence he might be on. Thomas Jones says, there's a lot of YouTube doctors in here. Yeah, there's a whole lot of YouTube doctors in here.
Yeah.
Boy, they know everything about everything when it come to their side of the street. Instead of coming out saying, you know what, man? See, I showed you guys this, right? Instead of coming out saying, I'm riding with my people. I don't care if Mexican bosses cheat. Or I'm riding with my people. I don't care if black boxers cheat. Or I'm riding with my people. I don't care if white boxers cheat. I respect this. You know why I respect that? Because at least he being honest. I like honesty. So a diuretic is used as a masking agent for steroids. Steroids gives you an unfair advantage in the ring. You ain't gonna tell me Oscar Valdez, got that from drinking some damn tea. Boy, hush. I was born that night, but I wasn't born last night. And I'm not on his side of the street. I'm on the side of the sport of boxing. Told you guys, I love the sport of boxing more than I love a particular fighter. Most of these fanboys and some fans, they love the particular fighter more than they love the sport of boxing. And when you love a particular fighter more than you love the sport of boxing, you can never be objective. That's why you will never see me, buck dancing and shuffling to get a damn interview from Mauricio Sulaiman or Bob Arum or whatever the case may be. Man, I don't give a damn about none of that. I'm good on my side of the street, homie. That's why I say I'm not on nobody. I ain't on nobody team. Because when you get on somebody's team, as soon as you say something that the team don't like, they'll turn against you. As soon as you get off cold, when you ain't spitting the narrative, guess what? They'll get against you. So guess what? I'm done on riding shotgun. Me against the world.
Hey, okay.
And I prefer it that way. True. I ain't here to push no narratives. I ain't here to cap. I'm here to call it the way I see it. Oh, we're not finished. We almost finished though. 2 hours is almost up. We almost finished. Let me wrap this up. Let me get it right here. Remember this guy. I know y'all remember this guy. Remember this guy right here, Prevekin. Performance enhancement drugs has been a problem in the sports world for a while. But when it comes to the sport of boxing, it takes a whole new level. When it comes to the sport of boxing, it takes on a whole new level. This for all you guys, oh man, they ain't really be cheating in the sport of boxing. Oh man, Oscar Valdez, it ain't no big deal. He was just trying to lose some weight. Oh man, ain't no big deal, man. Never know, so man, that was just coincidence that 3 fighters from his camp had got popped with something. Oh, hey, that just ain't no big deal, man. You tripping. This for you guys. In the end, listen, when it comes to the sport of boxing, it takes on a whole new level. In the end, if the athlete is taking a banned substance, okay, so amphetamine is a banned substance, but the loophole is it's only banned if you take it 24 hours before the fight. Oh, you want me to, okay, there you go. So when I point out this bullshit, because it doesn't fit your narrative, you cool with it. I already know what group you with. See, I always say you can always tell who a person is by what they say in the chat, because I already know what group you with. Just come on out and say, look, man, this is my group. This is what I'm rolling with. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I can respect that. Because at least I know where I stand with you. I know why I stand with you. Check it out, though. Check it out, though. Let's keep going. A fighter is already putting their life on the line when entering the ring, with an added incentive of a steroid being used by your opponent. The outcome can be catastrophic. Well, Oscar De La Hoya fought two people who was dirty, and he beat the brakes off of them. He fought the third person who was dirty, Sugar Shane Mosley. Sugar Shane Mosley won the last 4 or 5 rounds. I think he won 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or he won the 9th through the he beat De La Hoya twice, I think. In the past few months, at least 3 major fighters have tested positive for banned substances. All have had different outcomes with their appeals in fights. So several fighters got popped for banned substances around this time, and all of the fighters, they had different outcomes. What I want to know is what determines what the outcome is going to be. Does what determine what the outcome is going to be? Does it matter which promotional company you're with? If you're with Bob Arum, or if you're with Don King, or if you're with Al Heyman, or if you're with Matchroom, what determines what the outcome is going to be when you get popped dirty in the sport of boxing?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to High Low for dropping that $2 super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Carmen Serene say lead gunslinger Paveckin out of this. Triple H say the LDBC would deny that Floyd used illegal IVs. Man, that's the side they on. I put up, bro, listen. I'm so thrilled with it. I put up one of my favorite fighters. I got him on the wall right here, Roy Jones Jr. Another man behind me, Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker got popped for cocaine because he got on drugs. It pains me to do that. But I got to tell the truth. I got to be honest. These are fighters who I love, but they got popped dirty too. Black fighters, white fighters, and Latino fighters. If you love the sport of boxing, you wouldn't care what the race or the ethnicity is of that individual that get caught cheating. You would not make excuses and say, oh, see, you see what it is? See, right here, baby boy. See, oh, wait a minute. I found something. It's a banned substance. No, it really ain't banned. It's on the banned substance list, but it's okay as long as you don't use it 24 hours before the fight. But you don't receive all the benefits from the drug by then. So if it's okay for you to use it up until a week of the fight, you don't receive all of the benefits from the drug. That's what I'm saying. But you don't see nothing wrong with that, though. It's funny how WADA banned Russia from the Olympics based on banned substances and manipulations, yet they can't ban Oscar Valdez from upcoming fights, and he also allowed to keep the title. Boy, this is crazy. He said, I think it has to do with what state athletic commission rather than the promoters and networks. I think it has to do with what states after the commission. Oh, well, Real Talk says Oscar cheated, get over it, stop bringing up other fighters. Wow. Presidential says, I'm rolling with Japanese boxers. Just Blaze says, I wonder if Cotto ever cheated. Jonathan says, great show.
Hey, okay.
Oh, yeah, we ain't finished, though. Let's go over here. We almost done. Victor Conte. Y'all know who Victor Conte is? Victor Conte, I broke it down like a 57-7 yesterday, baby boy. Victor Conte he was the master of helping athletes cheat. Victor Conte owned a company called Balco. Victor Conte is now an advocate for exposing drugs and illegal substances in the sport of boxing. He started a company called Smack. Some people who are pushing a certain narrative. They're saying that Victor Conte is a drug cheat. He helped people cheat, and he's finding ways to make them cheat through snack. That's their bias. That's because they don't like Victor Conte. So their bias is once a cheater, always a cheater, and I get that. So if you're going to take that same, and this is what I got to say, the pendulum swing both ways. If you're going to say Victor Conte is not credible, you shouldn't believe nothing he says, he's a liar, and he helped athletes cheat, we don't believe nothing he say. And if you say, so that's what, we don't believe nothing he say, because if he's saying something that's against your fighter, then it doesn't fit your narrative. And then you have the other group that says, oh man, you know what, man? You know, Victor Conte, he helped athletes cheat, and he's helping people over there who under the SNAP program cheat too. So what's cheat? Always a cheat. Yeah, people push that narrative. And I say, well, shit, if you feel like that, then is Canelo Alvarez always going to be a cheat in your eyes? If you feel that way. I'm not saying if a person popped dirty for something in the past, that means that everything they fought before then, they cheated, and everything that they fight after is a cheat. I'm not saying that. I keep everything on an individual basis. But it does make you go, So if that stigma is always going to stick with Victor Conte, for those who support Canelo Alvarez, you can't have it both ways. You can't have the stigma fit Victor Conte on one hand, but then say the stigma don't fit Canelo Alvarez on the other hand. It goes both ways. And that's whether it's Roy Jones Jr., Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, whoever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But let's see what Victor Conte says. Victor Conte says, he said, Vada informed involved parties of the test results on Sunday. Sources said the test was conducted as a part of the WBC's clean program. So the WBC has a clean program, and they make all of their fighters sign up to use VADA, but then the WBC is going to ignore VADA and say, hey, you know what? WADA said something different. Okay.
Hey, okay.
And I'm cool with that. If that's what you want to do, just let everybody know this is subjective to how I feel. And I ain't got no problem with that. It is what it is. Just come on down and say it. Victor Conte said this. He said, I have personally given athletes amphetamine. I know what it does. I believe Victor Conte before I believe somebody behind the avatar. He said, it's very powerful. It is like methamphetamine. Victor Conte, who is the founder of Balco, told ESPN, Conte served time in prison after pleading guilty to conspiracy to distribute performance-enhancing drugs before founding Snack, a sports nutritious company. He said, you know why that amphetamine, which you guys say it's a diuretic, it don't help you do anything. We just read that it helped mask steroid uses. So that's a lie. Lie number one. So I know what side of the fence you're on because you wanted to fit your narrative. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Just come on out of the closet and say that. But Victor Conte says that you know why it's a performance-enhancing drug? Because it's a central nervous stimulant. It accelerates your heart rate. It gives you energy. Now, notice how some of you guys who defending this, y'all ain't saying that to give you energy. It gives you energy. It gives you endurance. If you're boxing somebody for 12 rounds, you know how fighters get tired and then they gotta wait for their second wind to kick in, boy? Do you know that? So guess what? If it gives me endurance, guess what? And if you get tired, guess what? Who gonna win this fight? It gives you stamina. It makes it easier for you to breathe. Your training time to exhaustion will be much longer. So for all you guys talking about, oh man, ain't no big deal, man, amphetamine, it don't do that. Amphetamine just make you lose weight. Now notice y'all ain't say that. And because what Victor Conte saying is not fitting your narrative, you want to ignore what he's saying because you riding with your group. And if that's what you're doing, just come on out and say that. Just come on out and say that. He said that has nothing to do with the camp being on steroids or multiple people popping dirty. Anyways, whatever side you on, just admit that you picking a side in this. Just admit that you picking a side in this. Now, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to wrap this up. Because I've been getting a lot of... It's a lot of racial shit going on the internet. So I'm finna put you lames on game, not the people in the chat, but for the people who participate in that foolishness, we're going to put the lames on game right quick. Let's break down what race is. Move this over here. Let's break down what race is. As a matter of fact, now I need to move this over here so you guys can see it. I'm going to move this over here so you guys can see it. Examples of race and ethnicity. This has nothing to do with the drug scandal, but I'm going to break this down for you because there's a lot of tension I see going on with different cliques, different crews, East Coast, West Coast, down South, Midway, all that other shit there. Look here, man. It is what it is today. I told you I'm going there. Anyway, so while race and ethnicities can get confusing, a lot of people are getting confused about this. These two terms have some unique differences between them. Get a simple definition of these two terms and examples of each. Dive into how these words are based on social constructs, which this is where the I'm black, you're white, yada, yada, yada. That was a social construct that came from Europe that they use in America in order to divide us. We're practicing it right now today on the YTBC, using this as a teaching moment. As on social structures and a social construct, rather than scientific ones. He say dive into these words. Dive into how these words are based on social structures rather than scientific ones. So let's break down race. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. He said you may need to fill out a census. We ain't worried about the census, right? It say race or racial identity simply describes the physical features that a group of persons might have in common. This can include, but aren't limited to skin color, facial structure, eye color, hair color, and other physical characteristics. So my skin color, they would say I'm a black man, even though my skin is brown. I ain't figured out how they got that. Black, but my skin brown. Okay, that's cool. All right, now, so this is what racial identities are, right? It's based on skin color, facial structure, eye color, hair color, and other physical characteristics. For an example, they give an example. A person with white skin might consider themselves part of the white racial category, while someone with darker skin might consider themselves black or African American. This isn't hard and fast. This isn't a hard or fast rule. However, racial identity can vary. Racial identity can vary based on your global location. For instance, a person may consider themselves black or African American in America, but they may view themselves as a different racial category in a different country, depending on the country's racial construct, right? Race is also dependent upon your upbringing. For an example, someone who is with predominantly Asian physical characteristics could consider themselves as Native American, right? If they were raised in a Native country, community, or a Native American parent. So let's give some examples of race, because I've been hearing a whole lot of this stuff about, my race is Mexican, or my race is this, and my race is that. And I'm like, sir, that's not, Mexican is not a race. Oh, it is. Yeah. And they could getting it confused and yada, yada, yada. Oh, I'm Jamaican. I ain't black, I'm Jamaican. Oh, I'm from Nigeria. I'm Nigerian, I'm not black. No, sir, you're black. You're just a black man that was born in Nigeria. That's it. Your skin color is going to determine that. But anyways, he said while racial identity is a variable when it comes to governments, it is typically broke down by biological region or origin or skin color, right? It's a few examples of racial identifiers or categories include white or Caucasian. So basically white or Caucasian, that's mostly going to be people who are British, French, German, etc. Whatever etc. is. Could be Russian or whatever the case may be. Black, African American, or colored people, that's what they used to call us back then. It's a Kenyan, Nigerian, Somalian, biracial, etc. So a guy told me, I'm Nigerian, I'm not black. Sir, you are black, sir. You're just a black man that's from the country of Nigeria. Indian American or Alaskan Native, Cherokee, Navajo, Hadi, etc. Latino or Hispanic, Cuban, Mexican, Puerto Rican, etc. So I'm Mexican, right? You are part of the Latino Hispanic race. That's all that means. Asian is Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Cambodian, etc. Pacific Islander or Hawaiian, Samoan, Tahitian, or whatever. I got to break this down for the guys who've been talking real greasy to me on the back end. But I want to break this down and show you exactly this is what's going on in the YTPC. Remember I told you in the beginning of the show, I said everybody has broken on to what? Their own groups. Remember I said that? This is why we're wrapping it up with this. It said while people might choose to identify, while people might choose to define themselves based on their race, they can also use their ethnicity, which is what's going on the YTBC. You have a lot of ethnicity-based narratives that are being pushed on both sides, all three sides. Unlike race, which is based largely on physical attributes, your ethnicity is based on traditions. It's based on language. It's based on nationality. It's based on your traditions, language, nationality, or cultural heritage. Follow me now. When you think of your ethnicity, look beyond your physical characteristics to traits that you share with the culture around you. While race might be derived from the color of your skin, ethnicity takes into account your cultural construct. So do not confuse ethnicity and race. I'm breaking it down for those who don't know. For an example, you might have a German ethnicity because your great-grandmother or grandfather came from Germany. You speak the language and you follow on the German cultural traditions. Right? Ethnicity examples. The waters of ethnicity can get muddy because there are several subcategories and cross-cultural influences. This is what I see going on in the sport of boxing. Depending on what your culture is, your influence or subculture is, this forms and shapes your belief by how you perceive people and how you perceive everything. Let's keep going. While you might be of German ethnicity, you can also be of Afro-German ethnicity, meaning that you could be a black man born in Germany. Some major examples of ethnicity include Arabs. Arabs populate countries like Algeria, Sudan, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and they're mostly Muslim. That's their culture, right? Jewish people, Jewish religion, languages like Yiddish and Hebrew originated from Israelites. Irish, Han Chinese, French, Italian, Swedish, Korean, Japanese, Greeks, Caribbean, African. Tribe origins, multiple Afro languages and cultures, including, I can't even pronounce that word. And I think we also had on here, should have had that. Okay, let's look this. Now, this is for you Chicanos out there. Hispanic versus Latino. While Hispanic and Latino are often grouped together when it comes to cultural identity, these two ethnic groups hold distinctions. These distinctions are regional and linguistic. Someone who identifies as Hispanic may descend from Spanish-speaking countries like Mexico. So if you're from Mexico, you identify as Hispanic. You're from Mexico. On the other hand, those who identify as Latino might come from Latin American countries. Brazil is a prime example. The official language of Brazil is Portuguese. So someone from there may identify as Latino or Latina, but not necessarily as Hispanic. There's a difference. People might consider themselves both Latino and Hispanic depending on their descendants. You have indigenous people. We ain't gonna talk about that. You have subgroups. Ethnicity isn't one type that fits all. With each ethnicity, you can find several different subgroups. For an example, someone who is Japanese but is raised in America could consider their identity as Japanese American because they align with cultural traditions of both groups. I'm Japanese American because they align with the Japanese culture from where they descended from, but they're born in America. The confusing world of race and ethnicity. Oh, it's a lot of that going on in the sport of boxing. There's a whole lot of confusion I see going on with different groups. When it comes to race and ethnicity, you definitely can't draw a line in the sand between the two terms. The line between your race and your ethnicity can definitely become blurred. A lot of blurred visions going on here today. This is largely due to the fact that race and ethnicity are social constructs rather than based on any science. Remember, I told you it's a social construct that was started by the Europeans when a lot of people came in this country. Blacks is brought over here as slaves, sold by their own people into slavery, and brought over here. You know, they came with the race system, like the caste system, in order to keep us divided. And guess what? Now we are keeping ourselves divided based on our group. Who you with? Remember I said that in the beginning, who you with? What side you on? This is what I'm talking about. Right? It say this is largely due to the fact that race and ethnicity are social constructs rather than based on any science. According to White House research, the White House, there is no genetic basis in race. It was found that all humans are closely related with the same genetic collection. Let me start right there. Because all of us look at each other as different. I'm finna cut the bullshit today. All of us look at each other as different, when in actuality we are really the same. I'm fixing to finish and I'm gonna break it down. These versions of those genes are what create specific features like darker skin or blue eyes. The genes that you get from your parents determine your physical attributes. How you are raised contributes to your traditions and culture. Let me say that again. The genes that you get from your parents determine your physical attributes. How you are raised contributes to your traditions and culture. So more than likely, how you are raised, your belief system is going to be based on how you were raised. So if you are a racist ass Mexican, your belief system is going to be based on how you was raised. If you are a racist ass black person like I was, your belief system is going to be based on how you were raised. If you are a racist ass white person, your belief system is going to be based on how you was raised from a cultural standpoint. Yeah, I went there. So whatever culture you grew up in, that's where your belief system stimulates from. And some of you are still carrying on those things that you were taught or that you grew up in. I know, I was one of them. And this shit has been spread out into the sport of boxing. This is where you get this guy. This is where you get this guy saying boxing is about race, homie. I'm riding with my people. Yes, sir. I don't care if Mexican boxers cheat. This is why he can say, this is why he's saying this. Shout out to Rider of the Storm.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that half for this up on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Bruce Gold say, Coach, people accuse you of being on steroids all the time. Take it as a compliment. Yeah, I got accused of that. I got accused of that before. I mean, I haven't used any steroids, but I've been working out for, I'm 47, guys. I've been working out for 14, since I was 14. So 33 years. 5 years box, I've been lifting weights for 33 years, though. Literally. Consecutively. 33 consecutive years. Went to the gym today. Anyways, so let's break this down, guys. So according to the White House research, there is no genetic basis in race. So I'm not superior than you because I'm black. You're not more superior than me because you're white. And you're not more superior than me because you're Latino, whatever the case may be. All that's bullshit that we don't came up. All that's bullshit that we carry with ourselves based on our culture, how we was raised. It was found out that all humans are closely related with the same genetic connection. The versions of those same genes are what cause was what created specific features like darker skin and blue eyes. The genes that you get from your parents determine your physical attributes. How you are raised contributes to your to your traditions and culture. However, each human is genetically the same as the person standing next to him. So when you, so if you're a white guy, you say, man, I don't like niggers. Genetically, we the same. Only difference is we got different skin colors of complexions. If you black, man, I don't like them crackers. I can't stand them. Like me. Like I was, right? Not realizing that, damn, we really just the same. Basically saying the human race is the only race on the planet. If you Latino, I roll my Latino people. I don't give a fuck about the blacks. I don't give a fuck about the whites. We the same. Culture might be different. Speak a different language than me. Guess what? You're going to take that same dirt nap that I take. It ain't no special graveyard for the Mexicans. There's no special graveyard for the whites. There's no special graveyard for the Latinos. There's no special graveyard for the blacks. There's no special graveyard for the whites. Guess what? Regardless of what your race or ethnicity is, the same earth gonna take me, gonna take my black ass, gonna take your white ass, gonna take your gonna take your Latino ass. Whether you a black Latino or a white Latino like Canelo Alvarez. You're going to take that same dirt nap that I'm going to take. So whatever group, whatever clique you with, so be it. I respect you when you just come out and say it. Right? Understanding ethnicity and race. This is the wrap up. It say wading through the murky waters of ethnicity and race and what constitutes each can get confusing. There's a lot of confusion going on. However, if you remember that race is based on physical attributes, while ethnicity is based on cultural attributes, things become a lot more clear. So you got a lot of cultural set tripping going on. If you were the alphabet boys, if you ain't black, we don't like you. And if you Mexican, we don't fuck with those Negroes over there, man. If they ain't Mexican, we don't mess with them. And if you white, you might not like neither side. Or if you white, you might say, man, I'm down with the blacks and I'm down with the Latinos. I don't care nothing about that. If you black, you may say, man, I'm down with the whites and I'm down with the Latinos. I don't care nothing about that. If you Latino, you may say, man, or Latino or Hispanic, you may say, man, I'm down with the whites and the blacks. I don't care nothing about that stuff. You might have some say, look, and say, if you don't choose the side, you're gonna be a coon of a time sellout. If you don't choose the side, you're going whatever the Latinos call they sellouts and turncoats or whatever. And whatever the whites call. We the same goddamn people. This is one of the things that woke me up. We the same damn people. So, you know, whatever side you choose to be on, so be it. But when I told you, I say, dude, whatever was going on with the Mexicans and the blacks and whatever beef y'all had going on YouTube, that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. I meant that. I'm so far ahead of the game, dog. When I say I used to be like that, I mean that. If I wanted to make a lot of money on YouTube getting super chats and stuff, I could easily become a race hustler. Easy. I'll be good at it. I'll be real good at it. I get them Blue Blood Sports TV super chats. I get those super chats that Blue be getting. But that ain't my thing, though. I've been there, done that already. It leads to nowhere. The only thing gonna happen when you race baiting and race hustling and you talking about, well, I don't like nobody because they this color, this ethnicity, or whatever the case may be, you're gonna be mad, angry, bitter, and broke every goddamn day. You're gonna be mad, bitter, and broke every goddamn day. But guess what? It ain't nothing wrong with being down with your culture. Nothing wrong with it. If that's what you with, so be it. Just come out and say it.
Hey, okay.
So anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I don't want to keep everybody too long. Told y'all this was gonna be a long one.
Hey, okay.
He say, Troll Master Mike. Shout out to Troll Master Mike for dropping that quarter over. This up on your boy.
Hey.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Cho, he said it's prison rules apparently with boxing. Yeah, it's society, really though. It's society. He said, "Coach, can you send me a link, man? I'm finna wrap it up, fam." He says, what changed you from the Nation of Islam? Good question. What changed me from the Nation of Islam is this. Give y'all a little backdrop. This tattoo is an old tattoo. Put this right here. FOI means fruit of Islam. I had the star, moon, and the crescent right there. And then I had the Black Panther right here. I didn't get, this is an old school tattoo, but I actually got a Black Panther because my mother was a dark-skinned woman. She was a part of the Black Panther. She came over here in the 50s. And then I became radicalized with Black nationalism and Marxism. I became radicalized probably I want to say when I was like 14. And my mother, God bless her soul.
Johnson Elementary.
God bless her soul. My mother, she hated white people. And she hated white people because she grew up in a time where racial tensions were really high in America. And that was passed down to me. And then that opened me up to join the Nation of Islam because the Nation of Islam rhetoric was in line with what I was always taught and believed based on my culture, based on how I was raised. Right? And so that's how I came into that. And when I came out of the Mosque 47, and we believe white people were the devil, yada yada yada, blah, this, it's okay to do whatever you want to do in life or whatever the case may be, as long as you do it to the white man and as long as your intentions was good. If you got good intentions, brother, it don't matter what you do, Allah will forgive you. What made me wake up to answer your question was 2015, 2016. I started questioning a lot of stuff. And then when I started doing more research, and I started interacting with different people, I realized that, man, that was on some bullshit. I realized that I had became that which I said I was against. By me saying I hated people because of the color of their skin, because I believe that because of their skin color, they was evil. A whole race of people was evil because of their skin color, based on, oh man, they made us slaves, yada 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 yada, while ignoring the fact that it was Black Africans who sold other blacks into slavery. So I was willing to ignore that fact. Well, I didn't even know that at the time. I was willing to ignore that fact, or well, if I knew, but I didn't know at the time, to justify hating a whole race of people. So I woke up and realized about 6 years ago, that I became that which I said I hate. I realized that I was a racist. I can't stand them. They hate us because we Black. Guess what? I can't stand them. I hate them because they white. I was the same goddamn guy. He said, "Coach, what's the difference between the Nation of Islam and Sunni Muslim?" In other words, there's no the Nation of Islam is not Islam. Nation of Islam is a Black nationalistic organization which hides itself under Islam. Islam, they don't believe in shirk. Islam is you bear witness that there's no God but Allah. Muhammad is your messenger. You don't associate any other gods with Allah. Nation of Islam believe that Elijah Muhammad is the last messenger of Allah to the Black man in America, and they believe that God appeared in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, which is totally contrary to the two. But I don't want to get into that. But the Nation of Islam is more of a nationalistic, Black nationalistic organization, disguised in religion. He says, "Salute to Coach Malachi and a massive salute to everyone in the chat. Have a great weekend, people. Love, one love." Exactly.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Paul Evans. So other than that, that's it. He said, will you get any of those tattoos removed? Absolutely.
Hey, okay.
But I keep them because it just reminds me of how I was. I don't never want to go back to that dark place I was at. So I can relate to the Mexican racism or the Latino racism, the ethnicity racism or the race racism. I can relate to it because I was once you. I can relate to the white racism because I was once you. I can relate to currently the black racism, because I was once that. I'm not there anymore. And some of these cliques and crews on YouTube, they are there and they would want me to choose sides. The hell with your side. I've been there, done that. I'm a 24-and-a-half-year vet in that. What y'all doing, I've been doing that shit way back when. And you're not even good at it. So other than that, that's it. Let's go ahead, guys, and let me do this, man. Give everybody a round of applause. And we're going to do the OJ Jew Man style. Shout out to J.H. Lethal.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Shelton Moore, my co-host.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Chuck Supremacy.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Steve Tides.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Rex. What's going on, fam?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Blitz Bonnie.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to JR. No, sorry about that. Shout out to Just Blaze.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to the Queen Arlette.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Presidential Luke.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Jose. What's going on, fam?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Bon Scott and Jeff Lucietta.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Peter Ortega.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Halim in the building and Javon Soto.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Paul Evans and the Queen Karma Serene.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Steve Tides and Chris VHS.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Dragonland. What the? And my main man, Charlo.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Bon Scott and Graham Taylor.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Rider of the Storm. Shout out to you, fam, for that super chat, too.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Toby Bartlett and Bruce Gold.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Danny Drew and Troll Master Mike.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Major Key, who was here earlier. Shout out to Mark Nash, who was here earlier.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to my brother Blood and Retro Boxing and Documentaries.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Peter Ortega.
Hey, okay.
Okay, we reloaded. Shout out to Dragon Lizzie. What the?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Thomas Jones and not the running back.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Julio Guzman. What's going on, fam?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to who else we got? Toby Bartlett and Rob Riv Shizzles.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to who else we have, man? I don't want to keep saying the same name. Shout out to TDC LLC.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Boxing Pound for Pound Jack.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Teach.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Danny Drew.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Julio Guzman.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Cheen Smoke.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to, he said, are you a true Tampa fan? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Used to work in the football stadium.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to, who I said? I said Teach.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to, I think that's it. I think that's everybody. I think I got everybody. If I forgot you, please forgive me. Shout out to Danny Drew.
Hey, okay.
And I think that's it. I think I got everybody, man. Shout out to Daniel Nuts.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Johnny Blaze.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to HLD in the building.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to I think that's it. If I offended anyone, I had to tell my truth today. I had to expose everybody for who they were, and I had to expose myself for who I was. We're all the same people. This ain't no kumbaya, whatever the case may be. This ain't no we are the world, I want to save the world. Nah, damn that. All of us got some kind of biases in us. Maybe even a little racism, who knows? But at the end of the day, we the same goddamn people. So while we beefing over fighters and groups and cliques and stuff like that, remember, the same dirt nap that I'm going to take, you're going to take the same goddamn one. And the earth ain't going to give a damn about what your ethnicity or race is. When it's time to go, it's time to go. Other than that, this is boy Coach Malachi Williams, represent for New Media Today USA Boxing. Listen, guys, I'm going to drop a little video tomorrow. I'm going to chat with everybody. I'm going to talk to everybody tomorrow. I know I'm going to take off on Saturdays, but you will see me tomorrow. Also, tune in Sunday. Tune in Sunday. See you at 3 o'clock. Be on the lookout for your old boy. That merchandise will be dropping soon. Other than that, much love, much peace to everybody. Thank God it's Friday. Shout out to the UK. Shout out to the Latinos. Shout out to the African Americans, the blacks, whatever you call yourself, wherever you at on the part of the world. Shout out to the whites, whatever you call yourself, whatever part of the world you in. Shout out to you. Don't get caught up in the foolishness. Don't let them fool you. Okay?
Hey, okay.
Other than that, this is about Coach Malachi Williams. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Come on,